McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy. Big D! Right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. Stick in for D-Mac. D-Mac out for the week, so it'll be Stick today.
Yep.
And then I think Sean Belizean tomorrow and Friday.
A double down on Sean, yeah.
A double down on Sean.
We are
absolutely.
doubling down.
We can talk about taking the old pup out to pasture, Neil.
Yes, and we are. And we are going to do that, as a matter of fact, because, you know.
No, you pulling the trigger today. It's happening.
It's not over.
Spenny? I still believe.
Mathematically, it's not over.
Is it mathematically not over?
No, it is not
then
mathematically
Then I'm in. Let's roll.
But it is over.
Neil, pull the trigger, Neil.
I'll do it, Pa. I said I would do it.
No, like, start carrying them. Pick them up.
Yeah, you're walking him behind the shed right now.
No, and I will, and I'll have the tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
I got to do it, but I'm going to become a man today.
You damn right.
And I'm gonna
hair on
take it
your
out.
chest.
Yes, no, absolutely, I will.
I'll do it, Ma. He's my dog.
Jump into that Woodward Sports chat thread, by the way. Get your thoughts out there, and we are going to talk about it. We are. There's some Tiger stuff to get to. I saw something on E&E yesterday. That was egregious. We'll discuss.
That has something to do with hobby?
No.
Oh.
Believe it or not, no.
Believe it or not.
No. But yeah, we're going to do that. We are going to do the Red Wings fallout as well, and there is a lot to talk about. And yeah, we got to take them out real quick. Watching the Wings yesterday, and I was at a local establishment watching the game.
Shout out.
I went to we did my daughter's birthday party at the movies. They all wanted to go. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Lillian, happy birthday. Shout out. Oh, by the way, Stick is here, like we said, KG, Spencer Raxter, chasing the chase down.
Introduction.
All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. So subscribe, jump into there, FJ1967. Good morning, Big D Energy in
Smash
chat.
the like
Good
button.
morning.
Good morning. Yeah, hit the like button too. All right.
Top of the
So
mountain. Top of the mountain.
we went to the movie theater.
That's my shit, boy.
And my son went to the mall to hang out with his friends. We're over at the Partridge Creek Mall.
Okay.
All right, so went to the movies. He went to the mall, hung out with his friends and stuff like that.
Jockey.
Dude, I want to talk about that in a minute too.
That's fair.
But I was there at the establishment watching the game, and they had obviously the Red Wings game was on like all the TVs. Then they had like the Panthers game that was on ESPN. They had that on. NHL. We got to move on from the Jägermeister deal. There's got to be somebody else out there. There's got to be somebody else out there
Jaeger
that
is
can
horrible.
advertise.
That's
Yes.
like the only place they spend money, too.
Yeah. Like, what is it with the Jägermeister deal? Like, I know it's money and everything. Like, there's got to be somebody else.
Target demo, right?
Yeah.
KG, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's
I
a
mean-
certain demographic that pounds Jaeger,
Yeah.
and it ain't south of 8 Mile.
The old whites.
The old white. Well,
Right.
and Chase. No,
I love Jaeger.
Chase is an old white. He counts.
it's an
Chase,
old
you
white
love
soul.
Jaeger?
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
There are people.
it tastes
Okay,
like
I mean, I'll
people.
drink Jaeger, but I don't
Dude,
like. I don't
in
seek it
college,
out.
I was like,
We all did it in college.
No. I'm
but we're
talking
not
about-
in college
No,
anymore.
I'm talking about
Jay.
a specific blend of Jaeger that they only had when I was in college. Like I like the regular,
Like
and I'll go
single
get the
barrel
regular.
Jaeger?
It was a it was like
watch your fucking
the
mouth.
same 44 botanicals, but they mixed up the. I'm a fan.
He got premier Jaeger.
And it was the hot
Designer
ginger Jaeger.
Jaeger.
It was emphasis on the ginger. It wasn't quite as dark. Didn't have as the strong of the licorice flavor. It was fantastic. It looked like the Red Bull that you'd mix it with for a Jaeger bomb, and it went down very, very smooth. It's like I can't find it anywhere in America. I think my buddy sent it to me. He found it in Europe.
Probably because it's rat poison. Fuck
No,
that.
it's-
Jaeger's gross. Dude.
It's fantastic, and if I ever get a bottle, I'm happy to share it with everybody. You can get one
No,
shot.
yours
for
is
them.
good.
It's-
from?
I'm straight,
Yeah,
bro.
you don't got.
Where's it from in Europe?
I'm straight.
It's from Jaeger. It's I think Jägermeister. I want to say maybe
Sounds
Denmark.
German, right? German?
Chase, you in
Let
too
me look
deep,
it up
bro.
really fast, but
He
But
got
anything you
designer
get
Jaeger,
over
bro. You
in
went too
Europe
deep.
that is made in Europe is better. Like if you go to Amsterdam and drink a Heineken, it
Oh,
tastes
yeah.
so much
No,
better
yeah.
than a Heineken you get here. If you go to Ireland and you get a Guinness, it tastes much better than the Guinnesses you get over here. So I could imagine a bottle of Jaeger from Jaegerland would taste better than a bottle of Jaeger from up the street.
Jaeger's fucking gross, dude.
Thank
I
you.
don't care.
Dude,
Disgusting.
ice cold,
you
it's
ha-
not bad.
Did you have a rum with it, though?
No,
at
I
one
did
point?
not.
You never did?
Never did.
Dude.
Well, black
Jaeger
licorice
bombs.
is gross.
Jaeger bombs were like an essential part
Give
of
me an
growing
Irish
up
car
in
bomb
Canada.
over a Jaeger bomb any day of the
Any
week.
day.
No,
Not even close.
no doubt.
That shit tastes
Or
like throw up.
give me the top bomb. You know, they know what they're doing with bombs. Shout out. Sake bomb, #1, just top tier.
Well, we taught them.
Yeah, exactly. We had to show them.
I don't know if they know what they're doing.
Ask them about bombs.
I'll drink New Amsterdam before I drink motherfucking Jaeger, dog. Like,
All right, couple in the chat here. Pete Smith. Scooble was hitting every one of his spots, not missing with his fastball, which set up the changeup. It was so fun to watch him pitch. Pay him, Chris.
Change up and slider. We're looking dynamite. That was top tier Scooble. His best start of the year. It's not even close.
Yeah.
But
That
I mean,
game
that's
was
not
over
saying
from
much.
the start.
But he was, and shout out to Dylan Dingler.
yeah.
Dylan Dingler gets made aware that he is going to be catching Scooble for the first time in his career in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes before game time. He goes out there, he catches a shutout, and he hits a homer. So shout out to him.
Buzzcock in the chat. I was told by Neil that Steve Yzerman was a front office genius. I bet Montreal was sure happy to see his fantastic signing named Jeff Petrie in our jersey and not theirs. We're going to get into it. We're definitely going to get into it, Buzzcock, because I think it's time to have that conversation
Buzzcock.
for real.
Right. Crazy.
No, absolutely. People talk about Malort.
Malort is definitely worse than Jaeger. I would definitely rather have Jaeger than Malort.
Thank you. At least you're being real about
Yeah.
it. No, but Stick, like, the NHL needs to move on from the Jaeger thing. There's got to be somebody else out there. Literally anybody.
Ice House, maybe? I don't know.
Fine.
They should do
Spenny?
a vodka. They should do a vodka, like a Smirnoff or something like that. I mean,
Can't do Russian.
I mean, they could just do Pink Whitney, like
they could just
the
do
hockey
Pink.
connection.
Literally anything.
Pink Whitney that's some good shit. I could drink a whole bottle of that and not even know.
Yes. Drew, top 5 times Neil didn't know puck. Well, we could talk about that anytime you want, Drew. Like, line them up, man. Line them up. Let's go.
Put them up. Put them up.
Yeah, put up your dukes.
War bomb.
But no, like I said, took the daughter and her friends to see the Minecraft movie. It was, look, Stick, it was pretty cool how locked in kids from 9 years old to 18 years old, 20 years old were. Minecraft raised a generation, man. I didn't even realize it until I was
Minecraft is
there.
arguably the most popular game of all time.
I've never played it.
It's fun.
Yeah. It's the block stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played it
Yeah, it's
either,
cool.
but these kids loved it.
I never got too deep into it. I played like a couple runs, had some good times. It's just with games like that, I got real bad like ADHD that I'll just completely do something else or hyperfixate on building my giant castle and not like go into the Nether and actually beat the Elder Dragon and beat the game or anything.
Yeah,
so
see, all that's just way too much for me.
yeah,
Like, I'll play 30 seasons of Madden before I play 10 minutes of Minecraft.
it's fair. I hate Madden. Well, I can't say I hate Madden, but I just haven't.
No
played
one
it
ain't that
Madden.
bad.
KMG King, Neil, you still hate Javi. Yeah, and it's interesting because
Y'all don't
Oh,
even
boy.
know the half of it. He came through the door on that shit today.
well, like I get all these tweets, right? Like, Neil, you're a hater. And I'm like, okay, so level with me here then. So you think he's a good player. The response, no, I hate him too. I wouldn't care if they cut him. So you agree with me. Like these people that come at me on social media, I say, okay, so you think he's a good player. No, I hate him.
But Neil, once
then,
again,
then we agree.
You're proving our point that you be just going crazy on Javi just a little bit, especially this year.
No. You said, yes, I hate him.
Yeah.
They said that to me. So we agree. So we're the same. We have the same
maybe he was
feeling.
just trying
This is
to
a very-
confirm that you hated him with him. Like, oh, you hater. Was there a question mark? Or you hater? How was it punctuated?
No, it's just you're a hater, like
Oh,
a
you're-
declarative statement.
See, I was thinking maybe it was like, you're a hater? Like me?
But
You're
not
just trying
liking
to find
somebody
common
and
ground.
hating is two different things. You can not like somebody and not be a hater.
So, but the response was, no, I hate him. I wouldn't care if they cut him.
No, but you have wasted whole segments on Javi.
What do you mean?
Literally, what do you mean? We have literally wasted multiple segments of a show talking about this.
I don't
man.
think it's a waste.
No.
I mean, people care about that topic. He's the highest paid player. He's polarizing. He sucked ass last year.
Yeah.
He's having a great start to this season.
But everybody understands that he
No.
sucks ass.
See, like,
Like-
and this is my problem. Like the verbiage. A great start to the season. What's Javi's WAR right now, Spenny?
And he'll find the
0.1. That's his WAR.
What's his batting average?
Over 300.
Okay, that's
no.
great to me.
His
that's
WAR,
Hall of Fame.
his
Neil.
WAR
If we're gonna
is
do this,
0.1.
then you got to admit, if you're batting over 300 consistently,
No,
you go
stick.
to the Hall
Stick.
of
It is
Fame.
inarguable.
It is inarguable.
He
that
is league
300
average.
goes to the Hall of Fame.
Right, but when you run into an out, when your defensive range is limited, like that's
He's been good defensively.
Spenny.
He's been good
his
defensively.
WAR is 0.1. He's literally a league average player.
And that is a great
so
start
I'm sorry, I don't
for
celebrate
Javier
that.
Baez.
And I don't give a damn about the WAR stat. When
Okay.
that come
Okay.
around? When that come around?
I don't give a
5
damn.
years
I don't
ago?
give a damn
Oh, hop
about
on the
batting
trend.
average. I care about on base percentage.
His on-base percentage
gets
is
you on base?
360.
What is it?
360 went
Pretty
up
good.
because he got the walk yesterday.
Damn
good.
right.
He has a 417 slugging percentage.
Oh yeah.
His OPS is 777, which would, I believe, be
Above
like
league average.
second or third on the Tigers team last year.
Which is crazy.
That says more about the Tigers team
Yep.
than it does Javi.
It's better than his 515 he was.
It is a
last
my
great.
problem,
It is a
Neil.
great start for Javier Baez.
I'm with you when I'm like, I'm not super impressed by the tag and all that stuff, but when I'm like, dude's batting over 300 and is a plus player right now, I'm good with it.
Do you want last year's 516 or do you want the 778?
Listen, it's 162 games.
Yes.
So can we pause on whether he's good or great? He's just having a nice
We're not
run
even
right
saying
now.
that, but we are just acknowledging that he's playing better fucking baseball.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all.
it's
Like,
tough to play
we-
worse baseball.
We come
though,
up
to
here.
Neil's credit. Like if I came in here and shit the bed every day, and it was like, well, I didn't shit my pants today, it'd be like, it's an improvement, but it's really not that great.
Nobody said Neil was wrong in this whole thing, but it's just like we have spent.
you agree?
No, but yes, clearly, Neil, we all agree. But we have spent days, weeks, months talking about this man.
No, because,
in
like,
a negative
people-
manner, if he does something good, we should give it back. The
But it's
other
not.
way.
It's not
Exactly.
good. It's league average.
That's
Just
good.
say he's league
That's
average.
better than he has been.
Yes.
That's better than fucking 5.
But
But that's not worth 25 million.
It's not,
And
we
that's
but
my hang-up.
That's
And
the
nobody
nuance
fixed
in
that.
the
And that's
joke.
why I can see both sides.
No,
but
But that's the nuance in the joke. That's why we make the joke. That's why we do all the El Mago shit.
Yeah, you
we
have
know
to
he's
accept
shitty.
it. You have to accept that he is what he is, and that I think not accepting that by this point is just driving yourself into madness even further.
It doesn't
He
drive
is
me
what
into
he
madness.
is. I mean,
it
you
doesn't.
you crack
people
shot.
trying to
What are you
convince him
doing?
that
No.
he's good is what's driving him to madness.
That drives me to madness.
not what
when
he's
you say
doing.
he's
Right.
having a good year.
And Neil,
He
which,
is.
which
He's
not a
11
good
games
year.
in, though. You can have a good 11 games. There's nothing wrong with saying he's had a good 11 games.
but Neil has trouble with that. And
With
once
what?
again, you have said Neil, Javi isn't the problem. It's Chris Illich. Then why take it out on Javi so much?
Why are you worked up about it? Because I'm not worked up about it. I know what he
but
is.
It's a constant with you.
We all know what he
You
is.
came in the door talking about somebody that trolled you about Javi.
No, because in the end, they agree.
Yes. And that's the point. That's satire.
Yeah,
You don't get it.
And so when you so you
not
guys
compute?
agree on the overarching theme of Javi that no one can argue, but you can also look at singular plays and a stretch objectively and say that is a good play, that is a great play even, and he is playing very well. He is playing great to his standards. That is something you can look at and say.
No, you can't
this
say.
year.
My problem is the verbiage. You
Is
can't
this a
say
great
he's
year for
good.
Javier
Okay,
Baez?
but
What's
that's
that?
Is
semantics.
this a great year so far for Javier Baez?
It is. He is a major league average player.
That is-
He's a
okay.
replacement level player.
And that is
Semantics.
great for what Javier Baez has given you in a Detroit Tigers uniform, objectively.
3 years
Great,
of bullshit.
like-
Great, yes.
But that's not great, though, right?
For Javier Baez,
Yeah,
for who
Thank
Javier
you.
Baez is as a Tiger,
Thank
it
you.
is great. Think objectively. Baseball is an objective sport.
I
You
am
look at
thinking
this guy,
objectively, though,
and
but
he is,
come on.
for his
Well,
standards,
has he
being
played
great.
better in his
Look
career?
Look how the show started.
Barely.
Look how the show started.
What do you mean? He played better when he was in Chicago,
A
didn't
couple
he?
years.
Right. So this isn't
This is
even
killing
great for
us.
Javier Baez.
KG,
killing
it's
us.
ripping this family apart.
We can look at things.
I drive a
objectively.
Dodge
I
Stratus.
don't understand that. I don't understand why
Well-
that's so hard to do.
Well, my question is why Spenny calls me a crash out, and then look at him right now.
Oh my God.
because this is what you do.
Yeah.
This is who you are.
It's because you nitpicking,
What do you mean?
Neil.
Yeah, you are giving credit to giving credit, Neil. You know I respect you a lot.
Yeah.
and I love what you do, and
We
you're
love
great
you.
at it. Giving credit to Dylan Dingler's throw and not Javier Baez on that.
No.
tag is
I
one of the
didn't. I
dumbest
didn't.
things
I
I've
didn't
ever
give
heard.
credit to his throw.
You did.
I said that's where the
Barely.
throw was.
You said he put the throw right on the guy, so he made the tag.
Yeah.
You were giving more credit to the
it's a
throw
MLB
than
play.
the tag, and
But
that is
he
ridiculous.
caught the ball. All right.
That is
Anyway,
just
all right. We got to get into the Red Wings. Okay. We got to get
Speaking
into
of
the
not
Red
great,
Wings.
This is an intervention.
Edward, great is not a word I would use. LOL. That's right.
For his standards, once again, quotation.
Yeah. Mike Willett. Neil wants Baez to play at a $25 million a year level. I would take a $10 million a year level.
Then you should be happy with what the fuck he's giving you.
Yeah,
But no, he's not giving. He's giving me a league minimum average performance. That's what he's giving.
5.16 or this.
What?
5.16 or this. Answer the question.
But obviously this, KG.
Well-
Well, you know what? No. Because 5.16 might get him out of here.
Well, it hasn't to this point. We've had 3 years of this shit.
I do have something nice I want to say about him though. When we talk Tigers.
I bet you do.
I do, for real.
It's just like what I told you in the kitchen, man. Like, we got Javi at home.
No
like,
cap.
He's gonna be here. Like, you got to deal with
The
it, man.
punters in the Woodward Sports chat says, "Stay together for the kids."
We trying, man. We trying to get Neil this intervention.
He's tearing this family apart.
Trust me, that shit doesn't work. Kids aren't that stupid.
Neil, you a junkie, man.
Yeah,
Trying to get
sometimes
you
that
off the
hurts them
shit.
worse.
Why is Dad sleeping in a different room for a year? Oh, I don't know. They're just switching it up.
Daddy may get a different
Yeah.
place to live.
Come on.
We'll see.
Why is Uncle Jim over a lot?
Yeah.
Dante,
And he's not even my uncle.
why is he making
Right, the
breakfast?
uncle that's not really your
Why is mommy making those noises?
Dante 151. I always love it when mommy and daddy fight. LOL. All right. Where are we going? Oh, Feldman. That's right. Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, everybody. That is correct. They got great lease deals going on, and we talked about it before. The Silverado Crew Cab, the Equinox front-wheel drive. You can go take a look at it yourself. Scan the QR code above my head up there, and you can even start the leasing process, the buying process, check the inventory, all of that. The answer is right above my head there. Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the nation's #1 EV dealer, the 6-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year. That's it, everybody. Feldman Chevy, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule for Woodward Sports Merch. That's right. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com. Get geared up for the draft. Get geared up for the Pistons playoff run as well. Just get geared up for Woodward Golf as well. We have a golf line there. Yeah. Shop.woodwardsports.com, the very best in Detroit sports wearables. That's right. Stick's got it on right over there.
Quarters up on right now.
Neil Rule, Stick here in the building. KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. And, look, I want to get into the Tiger stuff, and we will. But I think the Red Wings is the order of the day because people are passionate about this right now, and I can already tell how this is gonna go down. I can already tell. I want to have the discussion. It's time to check in.
Yeah, we had the wake on the morning show, so this is the actual eulogy. We just go ahead and knock it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it, Pa. It's over. Stick. I know are you hanging on?
No.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's been over for months, in my opinion.
But it would officially ended yesterday.
Yeah, and that was kind of a microcosm of everything that the Red Wings are, right? They try hard early and just not enough to get it done in the end, and that's what last season was. That's what this season is. We're in this perpetual, we're going to grow, we're going to get there one day, but it's really not happening right before our eyes. And I know everybody wants to be patient. I know Steve Yzerman is goated around here. But if you can drive Joe Dumars out of town, who delivered you a championship, the Heat better start turning up on Yzerman. I know D-Mac's not here to defend his boy, and I would say this in front of D-Mac. It's time. Next year's time, or time's up. There is no more, we're almost to the playoffs. We can almost get there. And I know at the beginning of the season, That's what Yzerman said. Like, hey, if we get to the playoffs, maybe with this team. But that's on you. Like, the reason the maybe is still there is because you haven't brought in the right players. You haven't drafted the right players. You haven't cultivated the young talent to become better at this level. And I'm not the biggest hockey fan in the world, but it's crazy to me that in our group text, we're getting – I never would have thought the Red Wings would be the lowest of the big four in Detroit in my life. Like, they used to have such a high standard. They used to be the gold standard. They were the Yankees. They were the current Dodgers. And this fall from grace and staying outside the party so long is embarrassing.
Spenny, I wanted to get your take on it, man, because where do you sit with Steve Yzerman right now?
I mean, I'm not out on Steve Yzerman. I still love what he's building and love what he has brought. This year, I put directly on Steve Yzerman, though. The failure that the Red Wings had this year to improve from what they were last year, the failure of the Red Wings this year to not make the playoffs, because that is a failure that they did not make. They were right at the door last year, and everybody liked how that season ended and how they were going. This year, they should have made the playoffs. I think it's a failure on Yzerman, for one, not moving on from Lalonde earlier, and two, not bringing in impact free agents to put you in the playoffs. Like, I know you're not going to, dump your whole load to bring in one guy just to make the playoffs like Ken Holland did with guys like Alfredson and Modano and Franz Nielsen and stuff like that. You're not going to do those moves to mortgage your future. But instead of signing Gustafsson and Tarasenko, you could have signed actual free agents who actually do something.
Spenny, you were on board. The Tarasenko thing.
I was. But
we were all on board.
I was. But objectively, it is a terrible signing. And that's where we are now. And he needed to be something better than that. And so that's on Steve Yzerman not getting, because you were a couple free agents, the impact free agents this year, away from making the playoffs. And, there's the whole thing that Terry put out there, that Terry said about him wanting Stamkos and him being handcuffed to Stamkos. And that would have made a huge difference. Stamkos, I believe, is around 26, 27 goals this year. If you had Stamkos and Trouba instead of Gustafsson and Tarasenko, you probably make the playoffs this year. But I put that on Steve Yzerman. I'm not giving up on him. I love what he's doing with the farm system. I love the pieces. All of his draft picks that have been coming up are working. But it is on him this year. The failure is on him because he did not provide this team with enough solid veterans to make the playoffs. And they took a step back. And this is the first time they have. And right now, they're at the hump of a borderline playoff team. What is Steve Yzerman going to do to get this team over that hump?
Woodward Sports chat thread. By the way, pipe in with that. Let me know what you have on it. One Funky Lions fan. Year 6 in a 5-year rebuild. Yzer Plan 1919 is going great. Look,
real quick, Neil, sorry. RM Dole in the Woodward Sports chat says Stamkos and Trouba are washed, and Gustafsson and Tarasenko are ass. Those guys would have been better. Those guys probably would have made the playoffs as you signed them. I'm not saying they're the savior and they're going to bring you a cup, but they're better than Tarasenko and Gustafsson. That's a low fucking bar to put. You're the Detroit Red Wings. You should be getting impact free agents.
I mean, how much time does Yzerman get? Like, I know, Neil, he had to come here. He had to restructure.
He showed up -2. -2 years.
Okay,
yep.
So what would have been the years you would have given him without the -2? Like 4 years to rebuild? So you're at +6, so you're right here now, right?
He's
so it's right here, right now. Even in your
correct. Yeah,
giving him
absolutely.
A bonus 2 years.
Absolutely.
Which whatever. I mean, that's
well, I put the salary table out there.
I get it, but you take the job, right? He took the job.
Correct.
Not like, hey, give me 2 years to get us to even.
No, but you can't dismiss that.
No,
you can't.
You can't. But
no
now
one
that we're
can
6
save
years
that.
in, that's no longer the excuse, right? Your players are in the system.
Yeah, but
this is
but
4
again,
years in, if
okay,
I minus
so
your 2 years,
we're gonna go back to this though, which is fine, and I understand that.
But how long do you kick that can down the road then?
But Stick, here's what I would say: if you want to be critical of the free agent stuff, that's fine. But we all love Tarasenko. We had a party on this show.
Yeah, we thought it was.
This
a good
whole
sign.
Network had a party.
But
the chat had a party.
Doesn't matter. He's Steve Yzerman. He needs to be better. He knows
Fair.
more about hockey than us.
Fair. I'll give you that. but there was not one dissenter of that.
No.
We got to keep it 100.
No, there was
absolutely.
not.
Yeah,
There was
because I like,
also because it was so late in the game and no move had been made, so seeing a name and a body come in here, you were happy with.
it goes back to me with, and here's what I'll say. The Yzerman stuff, and I'll give you the Yzerman stuff too. But at what point do we look at Dylan Larkin or one of the players? At what point for real? What point do we do this? Because here, can we do this? Can we do this on the chat poll, Spenny? Who's a better player, Nick Suzuki or Dylan Larkin?
This should be 80-10, and it's going to be 80-10 the other way.
Because I just want to see where the public sentiment's at. Who's a better player? And I don't want to spike the Kool-Aid or anything like that. It's just for me, because after Four Nations, it was non-existent, and
Yes.
he's the captain. He's the leader, right?
Yes.
If you look at I'm using the Canadians. I'm using the Canadians because of
They're in the same path as us.
they're right there.
Yeah.
Because the two teams are right there, kind of neck and neck, right? But there's a 6-point difference, whatever it is, which is pretty much even. If you look at it too, and it will go back to this, and this isn't going to make people comfortable, and I know why, because you have to look in the mirror. That's like the Tarasenko thing, where we have to look in the mirror and say, we love that. Like, we were wrong about that. Cole Caulfield, by the way, who is busted out, had a 36, pushing a 40-goal season, right? 2019 first-round draft pick. Kind of has improved every year. Here he is. You see what I'm saying here, Stick?
So that's 6 years it took him to develop. Is that what you're saying?
That's what, yeah.
That's about the time
That's
frame.
about the time frame.
He was drafted the same year Mo Sider was. Mo Sider's another one.
Mo Sider got forced into it early. Remember, the Mo Sider and Lucas Raymond kind of got forced into starting their
Correct.
rookie years because of the injuries that the Red Wings were dealing with. And you absolutely can put something on Larkin and Raymond. They fell apart. Like, Lucas Raymond was on pace to being a top 10 wing in the NHL until the Four Nations, and then he fell off a cliff. As did Dylan Larkin. You cannot have that out of your upper echelon guys. Those are supposed to be the two best players. Alex DeBrincat has been the best player on this team all season. It hasn't been close.
Yep. And how'd he get here?
Yeah, Steve Yzerman traded for him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. At what point do we ask the question? And I'm not saying. And you know what else the Canadians did to kind of spur this along? Number one, the Canadians were nowhere near what the Red Wings. They had a 106-point season or whatever it was, or was it 98-point season like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and missed the playoffs. They've been to the playoffs a couple times.
And
It's
those-
not the same.
Those are all great points. But let's go just to the coach, right? You knew last year he wasn't the guy to get it done. We all saw it. He didn't get it done with that team. He couldn't push them across the finish line. Everybody knew it was going to be the same old story coming into this year. You wait till mid-season to change them. Then all of a sudden you see a burst out of your team. That's on upper management. I don't care about salary cap. I care about acknowledging what the problem is and addressing it immediately. He waited too long for the coaching change, and then they finally got their shit together and started playing fucking hockey, which was the great thing when he took over. Imagine if they would have done that all season long, but you can't do it if your upper management's just like, hey, I know this coach is on the hot seat. Let's roll into next season with them anyways. What message does that send to the locker room? How does that motivate the players? Because we could talk all about salary cap. We could talk about where they were drafted, how long it's going to take them. You saw a difference in this team when they let go of their coach. You did. So to me,
but then I saw a regression to right back where they were.
Yeah, that's over time, right? But immediately you knew that there needed to be a message change in that locker room, and you knew it last year. Maybe this wasn't the right guy because you're mid-season. You can't go hand-pluck the coach you want. You got to make some crazy adjustment mid-season. But that's why if you don't go into a season with a plan, and your plan is, I got a lame duck coach I may fire, your season's going to suck. When has that ever been successful?
Woodward Sports chat thread poll right now. Who's a better player? Nick Suzuki, 54%. Dylan Larkin, 46%. Just a fan. Yzerman is the GM. It's now on him, not anybody else. Flair versus Savage. Raymond is average. What's that?
No, it's just the name.
I mean, right now Lucas Raymond is average. We needed him to take a step to being a superstar this year, and he was on pace to in the first half of the season. He fell off a cliff. It's flat out. Him and Larkin. They need to be better. And they'll tell you that. They know that. The back end, the secondary scoring, stuff like that definitely doesn't help. But you need your big dogs to be big dogs because the team isn't all around good enough for them to be average. They need to be your stars, and they weren't in the second half.
But here's my problem with Yzerman doesn't get a lot of heat. He gets all the leash in the world. A guy like Kyle Zwed, or however you say his last name. This is like saying that the Lions should fire Brad Holmes. Stevie is doing all the same things Brad is doing. Well, except winning.
Well,
except getting to the playoffs.
Okay,
except establishing through the draft you have all pros. Like, what are we doing? Like, the fact that you're even mentioning those two in the same sentence just shows me that the Yzerman Cope 6 years in isn't even close. How many years has Brad Holmes been in charge of the Lions?
It's
4?
not. That's apples to oranges, though, Stick.
It isn't when we're talking about winning.
Your draft picks show up and play.
You can't.
Penei Sewell walked in the door and was one of the best linemen in the game.
Yeah, but
Minute
you can't
one.
just keep saying, okay, we'll just keep kicking the can down the road and we'll
But
judge
that's
you
the way it works with
12
this,
years,
Stick.
14. How long is enough then?
I don't know the exact answer to that, like what year is enough. I would say that yes, this is the first year there was point regression. I would say like season-wise, it's pretty much the same season as last year. Like it came down to the end.
And when has Brad Holmes had a repeated season? When has Brad Holmes had a regression?
You'll probably see a repeated season this year, right?
Well, I mean, it's going to be tough to match 15-2, yes.
You'll have regression this year by... I would say last year was regression because it matters more in the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs.
You could make that argument, right? But they got to the playoffs with the number one
and also,
overall seed.
It's you cannot compare the NFL to the
They
NHL.
shouldn't even be mentioned in the same sentence right now.
That's a great. Let's get to it. Let me tell you about Planet Fitness first. We're live at the Planet Fitness Studios. You guys already know what it was. I'll be going there this afternoon after I speak to the class. That's the way it's going to work. But it doesn't matter because there's Planet Fitness everywhere. They're always open. They're the best gym in the gym game. You have a friend that's paying $80, $90, $100 a month for a gym membership. Why? The weights weigh the same. They have the latest equipment at Planet Fitness. They're changing out equipment now. I don't even understand why, but they are. But, hey, that's how it works at Planet Fitness. Clean facilities. They're everywhere you go. $24.99 a month for a black card. It's one of the best deals in American consumerism, everybody. PlanetFitness.com. Join there. Pull in the parking lot on the way home. Join there. Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Hey, it's Dr. Pierce, the man of the people, and the man here at Woodward Sports who took care of D-Mac and Braylon, and you know those professional sports injuries hurt, but you know us regular guys get hurt too, and Dr. Pierce can take care of you. Just go today, click that QR code above my head, schedule your appointment at MRI of Southfield to get your back checked out. 248-426-9944 if you want to give him a call. Dr. Jeffrey S. Pierce.
All right, keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neil Rule. We have Stick in for DMAC KG. We have Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. We have all of you as well, and happy to have you along for the ride. But we're talking Red Wings. It was the funeral yesterday.
Top five
Wednesday.
Make sure you guys get your lists in.
Top 5 foreign people, by the way. Top 5 foreigners.
This was tough because I almost went with the band members from Foreigner.
I told you somebody was going to do that.
That would have been a good one.
But there's more. There's like, if you look at how many people had been in Foreigner, there's like 12 of them. So I couldn't pick the top.
I called that last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, we're talking about right now just the Red Wings fallout and seeing where the people are. Woodward Sports chat poll. Guys, I asked the question: who's a better player, Nick Suzuki or Dylan Larkin? And I'm surprised. Suzuki's got 54% of the vote, but it's surprising to me to see that people would do that. I didn't think they would. I thought that they would die on the line for Dylan Larkin.
Is Hockeytown dead?
Is it dead?
Can't say that.
If you're not in the playoffs
It's
for
in slumber
a decade,
because we've seen them wake up. We've seen Hockeytown wake up when the Red Wings get hot, when they're pushing, when they're making things happen. That place is sold out. So hockey fans expect more in Detroit, and they should.
and it's just I was running the parallels to it to Montreal and the Red Wings, because remember how last year we kind of did the same thing with the Capitals and stuff like that. And it's just, when you look at it, the Montreal Canadiens, while we're nowhere near what the Ken Holland Red Wings were. Nowhere near. They have been to the playoffs. They had 100-point seasons, Stanley Cup finals, all that stuff. Nowhere near. How did they go from where they were to what they are now? A 2019 first-round pick is going to have a 40-goal season for them. That's number one. Number two, Nick Suzuki, who's worked his way up. He was actually a trade when they traded their captain. Could you imagine if Yzerman said, okay, we're going in. I got to trade Dylan Larkin. How do you think the public would take that?
I know KG's not for trading your best player. I know
Not
that.
Cade Cunningham, I'm not.
Well,
Not Cade Cunningham, I'm not.
Well,
Damn
well,
right.
the Canadians traded Max Pacioretty, their captain.
Yeah.
That's how they
It's
got
about
Nick
the
Suzuki
return.
and a draft pick.
Different situations.
You see what I'm saying here, though? Like,
Dylan Larkin is not Cade Cunningham.
different,
Neither is Max Pacioretty.
different situations,
right,
bro.
But you get where I'm coming from, though, right, Spenny?
Yes, I do.
So if you look at it from that perspective, how would that be received? I don't think it would be received
I think
very well
it would
here.
all be received really well if they ended up making the playoffs and winning in some games. Like that's to the point where I think where we're at with the Red Wings is there's nobody on this team that's like, that's the guy that's going to lead us to the future.
Their
That's
goalie.
the guy that we can build around.
Their goalie, Sam Montablau. A career mid goalie.
Well, there it is.
Had the best year of his career out of the blue. He's 28.
Yeah.
The Florida Panthers waived him. Just he showed up here for some reason. It worked this year.
Well, I mean, that's the entire NHL for the history of my life. You get a hot goalie,
Absolutely.
you're good.
That's the most important thing in
John
hockey.
Sebastian Giguère.
Yeah.
Everybody remember that name? Guy comes out of nowhere for 1 year and dominates the President Cup champion Red Wings. Like,
Yeah.
those things happen. Then hockey, that's why hockey frustrates the hell out of me, because I've seen so many games where a team has just been completely outplayed, but one goalie's just making all the difference. Well, we used to have it with Hasek back in the day, but it's the one sport where you can totally dominate every statistical category.
Yeah.
Shots on net, puck possession, hits, and all that, but it doesn't matter if you got a hot goalie.
Yeah, goalie is the most important position.
By far.
Singular most important
By
position in
far.
all of sports. Like, quarterback's number 2, goalie's number 1.
By far.
And their goalies are in weights. Unfortunately, Talbot started playing absolute lights out at the end of the year. If he would have played how he's played in the past excuse me, in the past week and a half all year, they would be comfortably in the playoffs. But it's also, I'm not going to blame Talbot. We know what he is. He's an aging veteran. He shouldn't be the guy. You got to do better. This year was a complete failure for the Red Wings.
Do y'all think people will be more accepting once the kids are actually up? Because that's one thing that we've kept hearing too. Oh, when the kids get up here, when the kids get up here. Once they actually do get up here, will
they're
people
kind
be
of up
more
here.
accepting?
As long as they perform.
There's only a couple guys that you really like. I think next year you will have all of the kids that you want up.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty. There's no way ASP starts next year not on the Red Wings. Kosa, maybe not. I think he has to, though. And then obviously Danielson is he's going to make the team at some point next year. He might not start out of camp, but next year, like I said, I know it's always next year. It's always next year. This season was a failure, and you need to be better next year, and you need to make the playoffs next year. You need to make the playoffs this year, and you failed.
Woodward Sports Super Chat, Busy 313, Hockeytown isn't dead, we're in a coma. And Spenny, like this is where I was driving with that, though. And you're going to get this from me about the Tigers coming up in a little bit too. Now there's no excuse now. Exactly what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's time. Like, these guys that you've drafted, because there's not an alternative now.
Yeah.
There's not an alternative. Like, there's not. The Tarasenko thing, he stinks.
He's terrible.
Like, he's terrible, dude.
Hall is terrible. Gustafsson is terrible.
Like,
Petrie is terrible.
that's it. And like,
Yeah.
look,
Stick the kids out there and let them take their lumps.
yeah,
Like, at
and
this
I
point.
know, like, I know.
Is that really where you're at 6 years in?
Yeah, because that's your future here.
Yeah.
And I would go back to this, Stick, okay? Like, you asked about the draft. All right? This is year by year. Mo Sider, Lucas Raymond, the next year, Simon Evanson, Sebastian Kosa, 21, Marco Casper, who's been very, very good this year. He needs to take a jump again next year. Maybe that's not fair to him, but that's where it is. 2022. Nate Danielson, ASP, 2023. You know what I'm saying here? Like, it's time now. If the guys that you have signed aren't working out, this is the only other alternative.
Yeah.
They got to come up. They have to. And I know that, look, I'm a Steve Yzerman guy. He's increased. He's added to this team every single year, and he walked into a negative situation. They were below water. He still has Justin Abdelkader on the books from the Ken Holland era.
But if you regress this year, is he really adding every year? I mean, this was a regression year.
This year was a regression.
This year was the free agency, the names that you listed.
Yeah.
That was them not working out. Would you say from a prospect perspective that it was a regression, Spenny? Because I would say no, because Marco Casper came up here, Soderblom came up here.
I mean,
Played every day. You like what you saw from those guys?
I do, but I'd rather them make the. It was a regression this year. They went from 1 point out of the playoffs to 7 now. Like they're having
no, but I'm
year.
saying segment it from a Steve Yzerman draft perspective. Was there regression or progression? Can Casper play?
Casper can play, yeah.
Yeah, but he's also responsible for the free agency brings.
Yeah.
No, I know that, but let's drill down on it and say, hey, because of that, because of the free agents, that forces your hand with what you have to do with your farm club.
Right,
Yeah.
but because he signed shitty free agents, he
has
to play
he has to
young
promote the
talent.
kids now.
Right.
But you do like that.
But you can't say that. Well, they got more time because everybody in front of them was crappy. That makes it a progression.
Yeah, and Casper and Soderblom are rookies, so this is their rookie year. This is who they are. We didn't know who they were last year. This team regressed. They did. You were worse than you were last year, and if you were better than you were last year, you'd be in the playoffs.
Justin Sacco, since the Red Wings last made the playoffs, which was
10 years ago.
Yeah, was half Ken Holland too. Yeah. Remember when we were living that lie to ourselves. Canadians have gone from Atlantic Division chance to mid to Stanley Cup Finals runner-up to dead last place to mid to the wild card this year. Right, because of what you talked about there and the pieces that were there. You didn't walk into there. They didn't have an underwater situation.
But they did catch lightning in a bottle with one player, right?
I mean, is it lightning in a bottle though? Maybe he's just good.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just good. They caught lightning in a bottle with a very, very mid goalie that was waived before that had the best year of his career out of nowhere at 28. So that can be the difference.
Just needs a couple of those unexplainables to hit, right?
Yeah.
He just needs a goalie.
Nicholas Duncan. We had Larkin in 2016 and made the playoffs. What happened? Art Vandalay, it's regression. Don't kid yourself. It's very, very comparable. And I would say yes because you expected a step forward.
Everybody did.
Yeah.
This is widespread. Most people expect
but this
the
is the first time. I'm not putting Steve Yzerman out to pasture.
No.
I'm not.
Nobody's doing that.
And I went through the names of the draft. How can you not like how he's drafted?
But that's why I said until they come up and you see them on the ice, I feel like people aren't gonna side with that.
But then you have unrealistic expectations because that's not the way it works.
I don't know if it's unrealistic expectations. Like I said, they needed to make the playoffs this year. And they knew they were going to have young guys. Like, you knew Casper was going to come up here next year. You figured that a guy, Soderblom, had to come up here. That he was on his last year, or they would have had to waive him. So you knew those guys were going to be here. Steve Yzerman failed by not adding good enough veterans to supplement those guys to make the playoffs.
Fair.
And that's on him.
That's fair. That's 100% fair. Which the reaction to that is now it's your guys. Like the guys that you drafted, now they have to play next year. They have to. Because what other alternative is there?
Can't keep signing
Massive
people.
trade or
He won't keep doing that though. That's not his philosophy.
I know.
So, I know everyone's talking like, well, Mitch Marner. I mean, look, can I ask you this, Spenny? And I'll ask Sean this when we talk to him tomorrow. Are you prepared to give Mitch Marner $14 million a year for 8 years?
Yes.
If that's what it takes.
Through 36?
Yes.
Spenny on that.
That's what it takes to get a top-tier NHL talent.
And by the way, you got to battle Toronto
Yeah,
for it.
I know.
And it could be more.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes you got to pay for what you want, Neil.
That's like we talk
Cost
about.
of doing
We
business.
talk, we
I
talk
don't know
about
the answer to
we
that.
talk about needing a 1C. We talk about needing a dude that's going to go out there and be like, okay, we're going to make the playoffs because of him. Mitch Marner is that guy. If you want to swim in that waters with those players, you got to pay him that money. So yeah, if you want that guy, that's what you're going to have to pay.
Bry guy, you can fix free agents, but not shitty drafting. Chuck Brewer, Neil, can Stevie force free agents to sign cheap contracts to come here? You're not forcing. If I'm a free agent, you're not forcing me to sign a cheap contract. Like,
No. I think he's being sarcastic.
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I can only go by what it says. Hoof-hearted. Playing rookies means you're giving up the present for the future. The Red Wings have to play the rookies.
Yeah,
So,
see, this is the weird limbo he's in now because you're in that win now position, but you're not with the guys that can potentially win right now. So you've kind of painted yourself into a corner. And, listen, 6 years is a long time in any profession to do anything. If you couldn't get it done in 6 years, it's right to ask questions whether you're the guy.
Yeah, but Stick is...
RM Dole in the Woodward Sports
Yeah.
chat is being a total Steve bot right now.
Oh,
RM Dole saying, Spencer, he couldn't afford them because of Sider and Raymond's extensions. So that doesn't mean you just signed garbage.
But who signed Sider and Raymond's extension?
Yeah, so it's
So he
not,
couldn't
you
afford it
can't-
because of moves
you
he already
literally
made.
cannot give a pass to Steve Yzerman for the players he signed this year. It was objectively horrible, and objectively the reason they didn't make the playoffs were the free agents that he brought in, because you lost Gostisbehere and you lost Perron, and you got worse than those guys. That's it. And those guys aren't super expensive either. If you kept the same level with Gostisbehere and Perron, and you include Casper and what he did, and Soderblom looking good, you might make the playoffs. You're not going to be this far out. If you improve slightly on Gostisbehere and Perron, you're probably making the playoffs. I'm not asking him to go out there and sign two $14 million a year guys. I'm asking him to get somebody better than the trash that he brought in, and that is on him. If you can't look at Steve Yzerman and say you failed by signing bums, then that's on you. Get his dick out of your throat. And then RM Dole again saying, oh yeah, he wants to sign Marner, another soft player. You don't want Mitch Marner? You're going to look at me and tell this team you don't want Mitch Marner? Like, shut up. That's just coping and you need a guy. Nobody on this team has stepped up to be that guy. If you're sitting here right now and saying you don't want Mitch Marner because he's soft, okay, whatever. Like, get over yourself, bud.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Doughboy Steve, Solder Bum and Edvin Bum are lumbering oafs. I said it before they even put on a wing sweater.
Jesus Christ.
If I'm a Detroit former great, I'm never coming back to try to help a team. When has it worked out well? Even Joe Dumars, who won a championship,
Chris Spielman
is out of here. Spielman, okay, that's good, but he's not really.
He's not running
He's
the
not
show.
the GM. He's more of a consultant.
Yeah.
But Trammell comes back to run the team. Get his ass out of town. Yzerman comes back to run his team. Get his ass out of town. They didn't want Isaiah back at one point.
Yeah.
Joe Dumars wins you a champ. Like, there's no benefit to having a great career and then coming back.
Well, I would say Dumars took us from teal uniforms to a championship as a GM.
But how is he thought about around this town?
It's 'cause of
you
how it
drafted
ended.
Darko. That's
Yeah.
the first thing they say
That
about him.
and how it ended. That's why.
Right. That's
people
what they
get upset.
remember. They don't
Yeah.
remember the 6 Eastern Conference championships. They don't remember building a team with John Karate at point guard. Like, they don't. They don't
Right.
remember.
Forgot about
And
John
Stick,
Crowder.
it wouldn't be as bad if it didn't take us a fucking decade and some change to get back to reasonable basketball.
But that ain't him. You
I
fired
digress.
him, and look how long it took you to
Yeah,
get
no,
back.
and
Like,
fair. I
if
digress,
anything,
though.
that's more of a credit to Dumars.
Yeah, no,
right?
he gets a bad rap. We know
I'm
that.
just, when we're having this conversation, like Steve Yzerman, when I was a kid, you couldn't touch the guy. He's a god. Now we're talking like, oh, I don't know about Steve Yzerman in hockey.
But that-
You know,
yeah,
it's so
but-
weird. There's
That-
just no benefit to these guys coming back. If I was a Detroit great, which I'm not, I would never come back and coach a team or be a part of it. Bill Laimbeer is probably the best case of a successful player and coach / GM.
And,
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Spen.
where was it? Joe in the Woodward Sports says you got it, Spenny. Not out on Steve, but he needs to be better at signing free agents. Yeah, nobody's out on Steve Yzerman. And I know in today's day and age, you can't criticize somebody without hating them or being completely out on them.
Really?
Yeah, I know. Well, you are. Don't act like you're not completely out on Javi. But
So you're in on him.
you can. I'm in on Javi this
I'm
year.
in on
yes.
Javi.
You cannot completely be. You can criticize somebody without being completely out. Nobody's out on Steve Yzerman. We love what he's doing in the draft. but he needs to be better at signing free agents. Like when he signed Perron, that was a great signing. That worked out very well. If you sign Ben Sherratt and he ends up probably next year being on your third pairing, that's a good free agent signing.
So what will
Hall,
it take you to be out?
Petrie, Gustafson, and Tarasenko are all objectively terrible free agents, and those signings cost you the playoffs.
What's your breaking point then with Yzerman?
I
Like,
think
what will it take for you to be like, okay, time to ship them out? Here's
Like I said, next year is huge because this is the first year that you've regressed. This is the first year that you are at that hump of, okay, they're not getting better, they're plateauing. If you can't show me that you can get over that hump, that's
Neil,
not a good sign.
For you, what's your? I mean, I know you can't give me an exact date of when the players are supposed to get good, but like, what's your leash for Yzerman? Where does it end? When does it end?
I would say that it's kind of similar. Look, I know the time and space we're in where you need like a granular, linear hard line. If
Just
not
like,
this,
what will
then
it take?
this.
Hey, if
No, but
2
we
more
just
years
talking
of draft picks
hypotheticals.
Yeah.
don't turn out. Hey, we go another free agent cycle and we don't bring in a player. Like, when
When will you start to become concerned?
I will ask questions next year if the ASPs, like all these guys I keep hearing about, right?
Right.
Because if you want to boil it down and you want to get if you want to get upset about something, and I'll go counter to what I just said, I would take a look at that 2020 draft where they drafted Lucas Raymond, then they had 3 second-round picks, 2 third-round picks, 4 fourth. I don't know any of these guys past Lucas Raymond.
Wallander's-
I haven't heard about him.
Yeah.
Spenny, you know, come on.
Yeah, I know. Like Wallander, he'll be a third pairing guy.
I don't need that. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and I like the point Justin made about that, where the 2020 season was the short season. It was really weird. And
I don't care. The draft's the draft.
basically,
like, it was
the
the same
whole
for
top
everybody.
70 were nobodies, except for after between 30 and 70, it was a bunch of nobodies. But yeah, no, you need better than that.
You need better. When
And
you have
need the
3
players to do
second-round
better.
picks.
You need the players to do better that are up here now. Like you talked about, Lucas Raymond, he needs to be better. He cannot fall off a cliff like he did. Same with Dylan Larkin. You need those guys to perform better.
We're Mo Sider and Lucas Raymond $8 million a year guys.
No.
And Spenny, what do I always go back to?
Yeah.
What do I always go back to?
You got to be value. You got to play above
You got to
your
provide value.
Yeah.
You got to play above your number, at least at your number.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't.
They did not.
And
They
I-
did
and
in
I
the
know-
first half. I think Mo Sider played at an $8 million a year value this year because what he does is if you don't have Mo Sider, you're 20 points out of the playoffs. But no, Lucas Raymond needs to be better. Dylan Larkin needs to be like it's not one thing that is like, oh, this is the reason they made the playoffs. Their goaltending was inconsistent. Their veteran pieces were terrible. Their stars fell off, and they started the first half of the year with a terrorist as their head coach. Like they almost made it because of a miraculous run that they made on after hiring Todd McClellan, but it was not a good season. It was a failure of a season on all accounts.
McClellan's the coach rolling into this next season too. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, the
Did
only
they sign
person
him to a long-term deal?
Yeah, 4 years.
Yeah, he's going to be here for a little while. I mean, that's the NHL though. Coaches get recycled in the NHL. You don't really see guys just come in out of nowhere and be a stud. Like it's always rehashing. That's how NHL head coaches work. But we need everybody needs to be better next year. It's not one singular person, like I said.
And that's kind of to back up the truck and answer your question. That's what I have to see. I have to see that. Either the free agents that you have here, because Tarasenko's here for next year too, right?
Yep.
And is it a year after or no? I can't
No,
remember.
it's just next year.
Just next year. Like either he's got to do it, or you got to not dick around and
Justin Hall needs to be bought out.
bring somebody up. You know what I'm saying?
Justin Hall needs to be bought out and have the rest of his contract stretched over a couple of years. He cannot play on this team next year. He cannot. He cannot play in Grand Rapids next year. He cannot be in this organization next year. He is arguably the worst defenseman I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not even joking.
Jake, not mentioned once, Kane or DeBrincat. No, because DeBrincat's the best goal scorer on this team, and it ain't close.
DeBrincat did what he was supposed to do all year.
DeBrincat, as advertised.
You got what you expected out of Kane all year. Those two guys.
Kane was above value.
Yeah, those are the only two guys. Like, arguably the only two guys on the team outside of Casper and the young
That were above value.
That were if I'm looking at people that didn't fail this season for the Red Wings, I would say it's DeBrincat number 1, Patrick Kane, Marco Casper, Johansson. And then it gets really thin.
Soderblom?
I would put Mo Sider in there. Soderblom, yeah.
It's a short list.
It's a very short list.
So there you have it. Woodward Sports Chat, Crazy Clown. I want to see Neil tell the Tigers players and management to their faces what he says on the show about them. I bet he will say yes, sir, to all of them, to their faces. Crazy Clown, they watch.
Yeah, I was gonna say
They do.
They know what we say.
Yeah.
Believe me, we hear from PR people. Like we know.
Jake.
We said a guy here that they wanted to
Larkin
ban
and
from the
Raymond failed.
stadium.
Yes, they did. But Larkin and Raymond failed? Yes, they did. They fell apart in the second half. They're supposed to be the two best players on your team. They needed to be that, and they weren't. And
And
I mean, listen, it just seems like the strategy now for Yzerman's. I bought lotto tickets a couple years ago. I hope they cash, and that's it.
This is what he's going to be judged by.
but his resume says he's good at picking numbers.
But it's more of a hope and a prayer at this point than a foregone conclusion that it's going to happen.
yeah,
You're hoping. You're in the hope stage.
Well, I mean, you could say that about everybody then, right? Like
Not-
any draft pick ever, you could say that. Well, it's just a lottery ticket. Hope
yeah,
it
but
works.
if that's the only thing you're banking on, you're putting yourself in a
No, but
precarious
I have a
position.
guy doing it who tends to pick winning numbers.
Hasn't yet to this point. For
I-
us.
I'm-
For us.
No, I would say it's all. I would say it's good.
Ryan Lentz used a crazy picture for my top 5.
Ready? You got them all?
Yeah, I got them all.
All right.
do
Well, hey, let's do this. That'll be a great bridge, I guess, to our number 2.
Right.
Top 5
This
Wednesdays.
damn depression.
Top
Steve
5
Yzerman's
foreigners.
not going to be on this list.
Right.
Top
April and the D, damn it.
top 5 foreigners.
Let's do Caesars now, and then we'll come back to Jars and Lady Chains.
Let's do it that way. All right, Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Yesterday, you scanned the QR code on the screen. You downloaded the Caesar Sportsbook app. You use a promo code Woodward1000 when you made your first bet, right? You bet up to $1,000 on Javi Baez to hit a home run. He didn't.
He's due.
But you got it back as a free bonus bet, $1,000 back at you there. So there you go. See, we're back in business. Do it again today with the bonus bet.
Damn
you
right.
get to run it back. You
coming.
know he's going to leave the yard. Everybody, bet on him to win MVP. Whatever first bet you want to do, as long as you use the promo code Woodward1000. If the bet loses, like if you bet on Javi to be the MVP this year, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet, all the way up to $1,000. It's a great risk-free trial, I guess you could say. You want to get in the sports betting game? The Masters is this weekend. A lot of people betting on golf and stuff like that. Get in there, everybody. The NFL draft, all that degenerate stuff you can gamble on. Caesar Sportsbook's got all the markets, everyone. Promo code Woodward1000. Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Let me tell you about Yars Cannabis. The J is long. The J is long in this. No, Jars Cannabis, they got spots all over the state. 27 locations in Michigan, 9 right here in Metro Detroit. We were out there for their new spot in Sterling Heights a couple weeks ago with DMAC. They put on a cool event, and they got great deals out there. Plus, they carry the DMAC brand, so you know they got the good stuff. Top shelf quality, guaranteed for you. Go to shopjars.com.
All right, hour number 2, Big D. Oh, sorry about it. How about Lady Jane's? Well,
Yeah.
so Ad's
Slow
411 in
down.
the
Slow
chat.
down, Neil.
No, listen, Ad's 411 in the chat. Neil went to Lady Jane's.
I was going to
did.
say, Spenny, can you switch the camera? Neil should do this live read.
Well, it's normally D-Mac.
Look at how beautiful that part is. You want a part like that? You can just put it on Neil. That's fine. You don't have to have the. There we go. Neil, tell him about your part.
Shout out Beth, Lady Jane's. Precision haircuts, as you can see, top of the line, everybody. You can walk in anytime. And look, there's a Lady Jane's close to you. They're everywhere around the Metro Detroit area. Walk in, sit down, get that haircut, get your hair game on point. Lady Jane's, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The side part is a very toned haircut for you.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's authoritative.
Does it say a lot?
It is
does.
authoritative.
It says I pay my bills on time and I have great credit.
It tells me you're going to cause a problem if I don't return the creamer when it's empty. So.
Yeah.
100%. No.
That's the guy who pushes his cart back in the corral for sure.
Yeah.
It's the true measure of a person.
Honestly, if you don't push your cart back,
That is a good measure of someone's honor.
Like if I were going back and forth between hiring somebody,
give them the
I would
shopping
like
cart
get a
test.
PI and follow them to the grocery store and see what they do.
And that's exactly what your haircut
Honestly,
is.
that's a good point.
Yep.
Like
I would.
It's a rewardless act.
There's no penalty for not doing it.
Yeah.
And there's no reward for
It's
doing
just,
it.
are you a dick or not?
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
KG awfully quiet right now about this topic.
I return them sometimes.
Sometimes.
It depends on how cold it is, how
Leave.
far
I'll
it
be
is.
talking again.
No, absolutely.
I
At
remember.
least I'm real about it.
I remember I was walking. Me and this girl were going to a grocery store like
You
by
and
her
this
house
girl.
to pick up some stuff, and I get out and there was like a cart in the middle of the way, and I grabbed it and I pushed it back, and this old lady like whipped up next to me and rolled down her window. She's like, "Hey!" I was like. She goes, "Thank you for doing that." I was like, "Oh, all right, thanks, lady."
Let's go.
I thought she was gonna be a Karen about something because I was
Right.
like noticeably high, but
It's like
Yeah.
the old lady from Superbad.
Yeah,
Have
exactly.
fun fucking Jules.
enjoy fucking Jules. I will.
Crazy
Greatest movie
clown.
of all
Neil is a bully. He wouldn't act anything like this to anybody's face. Anything like what?
No, this is him.
Yeah, you ask me a question, I'll answer
This
it.
is the genuine article.
Yeah.
Calling somebody a bully's guys.
Good, bad, or worse. If
Yeah.
it's my Cato, it's my Cato. But this is Neil.
Steve DeYoung. Neil, people who do not return their carts are the reason we will never be a utopian society.
That is I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that and some
definitely
other
a
stuff.
reason. Definitely a reason.
that is some other stuff. But, you know.
It starts with that though.
It
I
does
guess.
start.
Like if we can't
yes.
even get our core values right,
Yeah.
we don't have a chance.
Fair.
That's just helping your fellow man.
Steve O'Baby. Neil, I would love to know from the Woodward Sports chat who they would want as Red Wings general manager because they said the same thing about Tom Gores, and look what he did.
Yeah, but
Tom Gores I gained a lot of respect for Tom Gores and what he did with Monty Williams. I was completely out on Tom Gores, but he sucked it up, said I fucked up, put his money on the table. I respect anybody that can admit they're wrong, put their shit on the table, and he did that to the tune of like $70 million.
But to me, that's you're comparing Tom Gores to a GM.
Yeah, it's
You're not-
different.
Like it's a different ball game, right? Did Tom Gores change out his GM?
Yes.
Okay, well there's your answer then, right? Like if you want to play that game, when did the Pistons get better? When they punted the GM.
Definitely
who
helped.
didn't have full control. But
Well, and punted the coach that cost him
Right?
$72
But
million
what did they do?
to
They
punt.
brought in free agents that actually contributed.
That is
And they got a coach,
Yeah.
a good
true.
coach.
But it all started with moving on from the regime that wasn't getting it done.
That is
So
true.
if you want to make this comparison, you can't compare Steve Yzerman to Tom Gores. You could compare Chris Ilitch to Tom Gores and say Chris Ilitch isn't making the moves Tom Gores did by firing his GM who's not getting it done.
You guys ready to do top five?
Yeah.
Do it.
top five.
All right. Now, this is a very touchy subject matter, and we've done this in the past, right? We did top 5 things about Canada before, right?
We did.
Yeah.
What we do here, we don't
OLED
divide.
Avenue.
We did top 5
Did
black
OLED
guys.
Avenue make
Yeah, you did do top five
Canada?
black guys.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
And it went well.
And it went well. The people did well with
I
it.
have
We
a- I have a
did
feeling that-
top 5 black guys.
We did.
We did top 5 things about Canada. We don't divide on this show.
No, we highlight the things we like about stuff. Yes.
Right. We celebrate diversity.
Celebrate diversity.
100%.
Yes.
It's
Except
not.
for
And that was a
stick.
touchy time with Canada.
That's what I'm saying.
And we brought
We bring nations together.
We do.
On this show. So I figured with the success we had with the top 5 things about Canada, I figured that we would expand it and encompass the globe. What do we love about the world? Top 5 foreigners that are here in the U.S.
There we
Hey, it's
go.
beautiful.
Oh, that are here in the U.S.?
No, these are just top 5 foreigners.
Yeah,
Foreigners.
top 5. Yeah, top 5
Top
foreigners.
5 foreigners. It's your list.
Because that
There's so many foreigners.
A lot of
man.
foreigners.
Like,
A lot of great.
I got a couple honorable mentions that we need to shout out, like Paul Hogan from Crocodile Dundee.
Hey.
Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that guy,
absolutely.
he should have made my list, and he was on it, but I had to delete him for somebody else.
But that's
what
the
that
nature.
guy did
Steve
for
Irwin, yeah,
Australian and
Steve
U.S.
Irwin's a good one.
That would have been a good one, yeah.
So here we go,
Benedict
everybody.
Cumberbatch is a
top,
good one.
Top 5 foreigners. Spencer Raxter, why is it a top 5 list?
Because it's half as boring as a top 10 list.
Yay, yay. Spencer Raxter batting leadoff. Your
All right.
top 5 foreigners.
Top 5 foreigners. And
Hey,
Oh.
throw your setup, man.
shout
Throw your setup.
out to my guy Artful in the
Artful.
in the picture. That's my.
He didn't make your list?
He did not make. No, he did not make.
Why
my
do you
list.
think he's foreign, Neil?
He did not make my list. That's my guy though. At number 5, I have Javier Baez.
Praise
El
Javier.
Mago. I mean, what
Praise
he's
Javier.
brought to this city
That
in
tag.
terms of entertainment value, in terms of expectations. These are
Electricity.
things- electricity. Javier Baez has to be up there. At number 4, I got D-Mac. I know he's barely a foreigner now because he's lived in America more than he lived in Canada, but that's my guy. And
I should have said that. D-Mac was an understood one, but
yes,
I respect
yeah,
it.
Yeah, had to put D-Mac on there.
There you go.
And number 3, just over D-Mac, I have thick Latinas.
Hey.
So shout out to all of the thick Latinas out there, man. I mean, what are we talking about here? If I saw how Selma Hayek looked in Dusk Before Dawn, and I was Quentin Tarantino, I would cast myself as the guy to lick her feet too.
goddamn right.
That is an all-time power move. At number 2, I got Ichiro Oda, the GOAT, the best, the greatest composer of fiction ever spawned in the world. He created the greatest story ever told. He is the mind behind One Piece. So Ichiro Oda, shout out to you. You're the GOAT. Only 50 years old and is still kicking. He's been pumping out a chapter a week for like 25 years. Ichiro Oda
commitment.
is the man. And then at number 1, I got J-Dog, JC,
J-Dog.
Big Jesus. You know, as much as the Mormon church wants to convince me I don't believe Jesus was a white American man, so shout out to J-Dog. He's number 1 on my foreigners list.
He wasn't back then, but if he could choose today, he would.
Oh, yeah, he's switching the race up for sure today.
Hurry up. Somebody go next. Hurry up. Anybody. Chase, go.
That is
Hurry.
a fact.
Chase in the Chase Lounge. Your top 5 foreigners.
Top 5 foreigners started off number 5. Yeah, that was leaving opening day. I happened to just walk past on Grand River. They had the Grand Free car right there. It hopped in. That's me throwing up the number 1.
We talking about your number 1, though.
And yeah, number 5, an onion ring in your French fry. I work at Burger King.
A foreigner.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a
technically,
really good one.
he was off technicality.
Yeah,
That counts.
I went off of the word foreign. I was like, all right, let's think about this for a second. An onion ring in your French fry. You're not expecting it, but you're not going to hate on it. Number 4, anyone in Antarctica.
Yeah.
I know somebody who was working for the Air Force in Antarctica as a firefighter. I mean, they're not from there. No one is from there. So anybody who goes and visits is foreign to Antarctica. That's number 4. Number 3, zoo animals. If you just go down the road on Woodward Avenue to the Detroit Zoo, there's lions, there's tigers, there's red pandas.
I mean,
You
they're
can go-
kind of slaves, though. Is there?
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
It's fair.
So they're all, they're not.
It's your list, Chase.
Yeah,
F
exactly,
these
yeah.
guys.
How dare you?
Exactly. So.
Onion ring in your French fries is the best one.
No, that's
Yeah.
That's the best one that
should've
we've
been
ever had
number
in
one.
your
Yeah,
list
that's probably-
ever.
That should have been number 1.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, all right. So yeah, the zoo animals. Number 2, Jackie Chan.
Yes.
He is great. You
Solid.
know, he's fantastic
Wouldn't put him
filmmaker.
over Jesus, but it's
He's the only real human I put on here that's actual real person. Because number 1 is the Count of Monte Cristo, which is the main character from my favorite book.
Love that book, man.
It's the best.
I love that book too,
Yeah.
but you
Dude,
love that.
Dude, tell me,
love
tell
that.
me he's
And
not
Dale
the most
Earnhardt.
badass.
great book.
Edmond Dantes, he just reinvents himself. He literally
to
is
you, man.
hey, he's the man, and he just I don't know. If you know, you know.
That's a great book.
Yeah, stick nose. So it's Count of Monte Cristo.
There it is, everybody. Chase's top 5.
Do you have a copy with it? Do you still have that copy on you right now?
I just brought it that one day we did the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that was just a random occurrence that you had. It
Yeah,
on
well,
you
we were
that day?
doing.
I was like, damn, this guy literally carries around that book.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a book in there that I'm currently reading. I brought it that day because I just was showing I had it. We were
Okay.
doing our I think it was like Black Guys. I had Alexander Dumas on my list, and I was just like, hey, I got his book.
Alexander Dumbass.
Yeah. I also read the Three Musketeers too.
Shout out to Go Crazy with the super chat in Woodward Sports. He said Goda. And absolutely Goda. That's Ichiro Oda reference because he is the GOAT.
I'm glad you read it. I was going to read it, but I'm glad you read it because you gave it the proper context.
He is the greatest author of fiction ever in the world. Like Shakespeare, any of those fucking chumps don't have shit on Oda.
I believe
those chumps.
Homer, Shakespeare, all those fucking losers. Oda's number one.
Nerds.
He's been writing for longer. I know that. So.
KG, your top 5 foreigner.
Here to supply the power, man. Let's throw it up. And a lot of this, this is '90s nostalgia and just strong resumes. But at number 5, Rihanna.
Good one.
Yes,
good one.
Oh, Barbados-born woman, fucking gorgeous, self-made billionaire. ASAP Rocky is a very lucky man. But musically, she can do no wrong. Business-wise, she can do no wrong. I absolutely love.
She's better at
Rihanna.
business than she was at music.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Saw her first perform in Pontiac at Arts, Beats, and Eats.
Wow.
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
Now you'll never catch her in Pontiac ever again.
No.
That's crazy.
Unless she rolls with me, then we're good.
Now
She
she's
ain't
selling
rolling
out
with you.
for
She ain't rolling with you, nigga.
Fair.
At number 4,
Arts, Beats, and
Jackie Chan, much like my boy Chase's list over here. And first mine, I see you, girl, in the chat saying, Bruce Lee over Jackie. Yes, technically, Bruce Lee was the founding father, but Jackie Chan took that and ran with it. I mean, he monopolized.
100%.
I mean, that strong resume from Jackie Chan. He had an animated series that worked, too. I mean, he could do no wrong.
Great animated series. Jackie Chan Adventures was
Man,
fire,
what? The
dude.
Talismans?
Oh,
Man,
yeah.
Stop it. They don't know.
Great
At
show.
number 3, and I'm surprised this is on no one's list, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold.
The resume speaks for itself. He's the Terminator, and he was the mayor of California.
That's
He ran the whole bit, man.
Yeah, come on, bro. Like, he's arguably the greatest foreigner to ever exist.
honestly, it's up there.
At number 2, this is one of my personal favorites, Dirk Nowitzki. What my favorite power forward of all time. He went up against a LeBron-led team that had D-Wade. That first year, everybody thought they was gonna get it done. Defied the odds, beat Kobe that year. Like, he had a magical
run of all time.
That was literally arguably the greatest
run of all
run.
time.
He doesn't get the credit for it.
He beat Kobe. He beat the Thunder with Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, and he beat the big three in the
just
finals.
went through them.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was ordained that year, but Dirk, just a great guy, too, on top of that. Big fan of Dirk. Had a poster in my room as a kid. And at number 1, 007, James Bond. I'm a big fan of all the Bond movies. I'm talking about from Sean Connery on up. This is misogyny in its prime, boy. Oh, yeah. Just throw on an old school 007 flick, bro. You will it's a great time, bro.
You ever hear Sean Connery talk about smacking chicks?
Yes, bro. Like, it was bad.
Well, if they deserve it.
Yeah, like sexual assault, all the things was in the 007
Family Guy skit
movies.
where he's like, no, you will have sex with me.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
Misogyny in its prime.
No, for real.
Slap on the face if she deserves it.
No, but
Great list.
007 is goated no matter who is playing them. And that is my top 5 list, man.
Misogyny in its prime.
No, for real. A simpler time. It was a
Back when men could be men, KG.
Right. It was a simpler time.
Just a fan and slept with his nanny. So there's that out there as well.
Slept with his nanny?
I got to assume
Sean
that's what he's
Connery
talking
did?
about.
No, they're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Of course.
He's goated, bro.
Yeah.
And, he's the greatest bodybuilder of all time, too.
He's the fucking Terminator.
Reaction
Shout
to
out
yours,
Arnold.
KG. Greg Rounds. KG, who should be the next James Bond?
I've debated that.
Idris Elba!
Morris Chestnut?
Idris Elba!
Morris too old, nah. Like, he got the suave still, but he too old. I don't know if they want to go black for the next Bond, and that's me saying that. But I don't know. I can't really see it. If y'all weren't gonna do Idris Elba,
Jason
then
Statham, baby.
oh, you know what?
No,
my man's from Snowfall, Dangerous.
They're trying to
Yeah,
go for
he can
someone
be that.
who's like around like 27 to 30, so that way he can be in like the series for
It's
like
going to be
several.
Tom Holland.
I mean,
Yeah, it's probably gonna be
I'll
Tom
throw my
Holland.
hat in the ring. I love James Bond. I've seen all the movies. We showed them on
Black
VHS.
guys with English accents are cool.
Oh,
man.
big
100%
fan.
cool.
Big fucking fan.
Like I'm saying.
Yeah.
We learned that during Fresh Prince.
Cillian Murphy would be dope, but he's
Ed's just a little long in the tooth, though.
No,
so.
I don't think anyone caught that, Stick, but that was pretty good.
That is true.
That was pretty good. Stick.
Yeah.
Your top 5 foreigners.
You know,
list.
I like that I put together this top 5 because of God. I'll have you know I had dragons on my shirt.
That's
too.
just a little twist.
Just to let you know.
You shooting juice through that fucking guy.
That's
Dude, and baby Joey has the exact same teeth. She's got these buck teeth on her, man.
The juice box.
What shooting juice? 1 year of braces though, and it was cured.
That's
Hey,
it.
it's
I only
crazy.
had braces for 1 year.
Shout out
too.
dinner work.
My
Yep.
sister had them bitches for 4 years.
All right, number
Holy
5 on
shit.
this list, probably the most quoted foreigner of all time, Mr. Borat.
Yeah.
That's
Sasha
fair.
Baron Cohen.
He should have been on
even if
people's
it's not
list, too.
Borat. It's Sasha Baron Cohen.
I just saw number 4.
I mean, my wife, who hasn't quoted Borat?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And then one time he get it. Borat,
Borat
gotta
is
love him.
goated.
I've laughed at that movie for years.
Hold on. Super Bowl Vaughn. He was gleeking everywhere.
No, that gap is crazy. I can't lie. I
Yeah.
wasn't expecting that. I
Man.
wasn't.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, listen. So that's how we grew up tough.
That's a different
Right.
You gotta survive a lot when you're a youth.
Right. Tell me you grew up in the 70s/80s without telling me. Like,
Dude, the laser background on that third grade.
Yeah, exactly.
Hype.
Like,
That's hype.
But they have you sitting down in the game Tron?
Tron just came out. Yeah.
I wish you'd see the full picture because it's like neon dragons and everything.
Oh, yeah.
oh, shit.
Oh yeah, you have a list. Go ahead.
Oh, my
Number
God.
4, I cannot thank them enough. The early ancestors of Jared Goff. I'm not sure when they came over. Maybe it
I'm
was
not sure
on
when
the
they came
Mayflower. Maybe they just decided to come over here
hope it
from
wasn't
some
the
other
Mayflower.
land. I'm not sure I'm not even sure what his background is. But the fact that they came to America and they kept breeding until we got the ultimate quarterback to come lead the Lions to further than anybody we've ever seen put on the Honolulu Blue. Cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you, early ancestors. Number 3, Elon. I don't care about politics. If I would have asked you 3 years ago, people would have loved him. Now they hate him. Whatever. You cannot deny what this guy has meant to humankind. There's like 4 people who have put people in space and brought them back. The United States of America, China, I believe one other country, and Elon effing Musk. Like, that's impressive. I don't care who you are.
Hey, well, that's
pretty-
on you.
You don't think sending someone
This
to
is a
space
fine
is
time to
impressive?
pick Elon,
We
but
got
go ahead.
NASA that can't even get people home, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I'll shoot up an Uber and bring them back." Like, dude, I don't
That's
care
what happens when you got money.
I don't care what you got for politically on him. I love Elon Musk, and I would
don't argue
kill.
inside of me. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Fine
I'd love to
timing,
have
though.
dinner with that guy and pick his brain. Number 2, y'all went with the 2.0 with Jackie Chan. I'm going with the original version.
Fair.
Bruce Lee.
Fair.
He brought a
For
whole
sure.
different perspective to culture to this society. I mean, his films, I grew up watching those. I loved it. You put on a Wu-Tang album and you watch Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
You have yourself
He
a good
walks
time.
so Jackie Chan could run.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he-
Enter the
he's the
Dragon.
best.
Yeah.
I
Enter the
mean,
Dragon,
and
Return of
honestly,
the
his
Dragon.
philosophies still live on through today. And number 1, we covered it. You guys talked about everything, but think of the life of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No,
Yeah.
goated.
You grow up in a foreign country. You don't speak the language of English. You learn it. You go to the country. You completely take it over to be the biggest box office movie star. You take over the biggest state as a governor. You marry up into the upper echelon of what the United States government has to offer. Like, the guy has lived an insane
And he's got a
life.
hot daughter.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Reactions. Mr. Dookie draws. Your dentist should be on the top 5.
He was white.
And then the classics
Oh,
are on there.
shit.
Stick. I don't know whether to smile at you, kick a field goal.
Yep.
That one's in there as well. So yeah, that was pretty good. Also in the super chat, Daniel, our guy, deep breaths, everyone. The Red Wings team is going to contend within 2 to 3 years. I mean, really contend. Patience, please. And Daniel, like, look, no one's throwing them out in the garbage. I don't think. Some are.
Yeah.
Some are. Some are, because that's the way that it works. But Daniel, I kind of ride with you. No, I do. I think that the youth that's in place will be good enough to get this team rolling. I can't get over gleeking everywhere.
That's what I keep thinking.
That's one of the top 5 comments ever in the history of the Woodward Sports
fact.
chat
I
thread.
just wasn't ready for that. That's all.
All right, we'll run this thing, wrap this
man.
thing up. My Top 5
See what you got.
foreigners list. Yes, sir. Let's get it in. And here we go.
Chicken jockey.
Frankenstein.
I like that. That is pretty funny.
Chicken jockey.
Albert Einstein, number 5. I mean, look, we celebrate a lot of the man's inventions. So he's a foreigner.
Are they his?
I don't know.
Why'd he put it?
Yeah. What?
I think the font got messed up.
Oh, yeah.
It's Albert
Oh, he
Einstein.
had Rihanna in there.
Yeah, Rihanna. Absolutely. That's on that.
That's what I was looking at.
Albert Einstein Anna.
Rihanna, Albert Einstein, Anna. Yeah. Number 4, Jackie Chan, for all the reasons that everybody put it out there.
That's so crazy. You all put Jackie Chan on
Yeah.
there.
Bruce Lee. Jackie Chan was our era though. Like
Great
Bruce Lee
minds
was
think
before I was
alike.
born.
Yeah, but it's crazy how everybody had him on the list.
But
Last
once
week,
again,
D-Mac and I had the
didn't
same
have
number
one.
1.
Yeah. Well, I would say like Jackie Chan was kind of a pioneer too, because he did it. Because look, what was the originally like when Russian hockey players got here? What was everybody's complaint? Well, they don't speak English.
Right.
They're hard to understand. All that stuff. Jackie Chan didn't speak English very well, but made it work.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he overcame a lot.
Much like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All the
Much like-
bloopers.
much like Arnold Schwarzenegger as well. The movies, I celebrate the entire catalog.
Yeah.
100%.
It's like Michael Jordan globalized the game. We don't recognize the person that invented basketball. Like, it just-
The bloopers at the end of the movies, that's what made you fall in love with him.
100%.
Yeah.
No, he was awesome. Number 2, Sergei Fedorov. And he's
I
not
was
number
wondering
2.
when
He's
somebody
1A. All right, 1A, 1B. Sergei Fedorov is my guy. The greatest, most talented hockey player that I've ever seen. Total package.
Yep.
Total package. Total package, the greatest Red Wing to ever play.
Yeah.
For the Red Wings.
I know who your crush is at number 1 though.
Number 1,
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis, man.
Shout out.
Goated. Yeah.
Something about her, dude. Like,
No, she's fine as hell.
like
As voted on by many
Super
magazines for
fine.
many years.
Yeah.
Like, she's
Still
fine
super
as hell.
fine.
still hot.
She's been hot.
Ashton Kutcher
She's one of
is,
the. She's one of those girls that have been hot
Yeah,
my
you-
whole
from
life.
Yeah,
Ukraine.
she's Ukrainian.
Is she from there or
Yeah,
family?
like immigrated to America.
Her name is Mila Kunis.
Yeah, if she.
You could be named anything.
Yeah, true. but
Still hot.
Like, I
that
could-
would indicate
still
that
hot.
you
I
got
could name
Yeah,
my
like-
daughter Mila Kunis.
Like
It doesn't-
Mila Kunis, I would say
Some foreign name.
Hillary Duff, Anne Hathaway, Megan
Hathaway's-
Good, like the
Hillary Duff
Beyonce,
supported?
like no, that have just been hot my whole life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that have not fallen off at all. Yeah, there's a lot, but those are the ones that stand out. Anne Hathaway's top tier milk. by the
I
way.
got a bone
Top
to pick
tier
with
milk.
Anne Hathaway.
What?
After a movie that I witnessed.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not that she's not hot.
no,
he didn't
she's
love
definitely
Princess
hot. She's
Diaries.
always been hot.
Oh,
He
Dante
hated Princess Diaries.
you
150.
don't like Princess Diaries?
No, it's not that movie.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a movie that most of you probably don't even know that she did. But she sang Tupac, and there was a lot of N-word slanging in that movie. So
Oh,
I would
shit.
I forgot the name of
If
it.
she
Do
singing
you
the
get mad at
song, it's
Leo?
okay.
It's a movie. Do you get mad at Leo for
No,
Django
but
Unchained?
it's just when you,
Like,
when you watch the movie, it's like if Malibu's Most Wanted was taken seriously, that's what they was going for. But it just wasn't executed. I'm gonna find the name of the movie and let y'all know. It's crazy.
If you don't get mad at Leo and Django Unchained, I don't think you can get mad at Anne Hathaway.
She's always been hot though.
She has
Dante
always been hot.
151 in the super chat. Hideki Kamiya, the creator of the Devil May Cry video series. Number 4, Jackie
anime
Chan.
came out.
Number 3, Arnold Schwarzenegger, simply because of Predator. Number 2, Pierce Brosnan. Number 1, Alex Ovechkin. Honorable mention, PK Subban. Let's go Tigers. That's fair. That's a
fair.
fair list, no
Someone
doubt.
said Miggy should have been mentioned, and I'm kind of regretting. I should have put Miggy on there. I
Yeah.
love Miggy. Same thing with Pudge. Those are my two, at least, Tigers.
I was more Maglio Ordonez myself.
Oh
but,
yeah, shout out Max.
Shout out Mags.
Miggy should have been on my list, but I tried to avoid.
Sport. We tried
to avoid sports.
Yeah, like we
I had Jokic on my list, and I took him off.
you could. I mean, yeah, you
I
can
had
put
Guy
him on
Ritchie.
cheerleader.
I try to avoid
list.
Detroit athletes and personal friends.
I just
because,
love Jokic because he's
Yeah.
the greatest, and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's the weirdest anomaly to me. The guy just does not care about basketball.
I just had to put D-Mac on this list, but I normally avoid
I didn't
personal
consider D-Mac a
relationships.
foreigner, though.
Yeah, that's
He's-
true.
He's from a suburb of Detroit.
That's why he's
essentially.
even better
Right.
because he's American.
Hell
yeah.
Quick Tiger stat for you guys. The last 50 regular season MLB games,
Javi Bayet, no.
the Tigers and the Dodgers have won 34 of them. Best in MLB baseball. So there's that out there. Okay, let's do this. I know we got to break it again. How you want to do
Yeah.
it?
Where are we at? Let's
Mark
do,
White, Feldman. What you want to do? Mark White.
Yeah, we'll just do them both. All right, we'll just knock them all out. We'll do Mark White and Feldman, then we'll come back to Matt Paxton Loom. Mark White, if you're looking to buy or sell your home, Mark White should be your first choice. He can save it to $5,000 your closing costs. Visit him at markwhitesells.com or give him a call at 248-290-8242. Mark White can get you into your dream home.
And if you need something to park in that garage of your dream home, then it's pretty simple. You go to Feldman Chevrolet in Novi. They got the great deals on the Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, a great lease deal on a 2025 Chevy Equinox front-wheel drive as well if you want to go the SUV route. And even if that's not the direction you want to go, scan that QR code above my head right there. Take a look at their inventory. Feldman Chevrolet is Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. I bought my car from Feldman Chevrolet. Sean Belizean bought a car from Feldman Chevrolet. You notice a theme? Because they're goated on the sticks, as my kids would say. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Yeah, Mad Packs. They are launching May 2025. That is next month. So we want to get you prepared and get you hyped for this product. They were out opening day, hanging out with us. And my goodness, Mad Packs is going to deliver some of the best new chronic to the market. So if you want to be a part of it, make sure you watch Woodward Sports. We're going to tell you where to get it, but get it on your radar now. Mad Packs launching May 2025. And then, of course, Loom is going to carry Mad Packs. That's the cool part about this. So you want to go get 30% off? It's not only Mad Packs at Loom, though. They got everything under the sun. I'm still on some of those CBN edibles that they gave us in that little sample pack.
Yeah.
Very nice, very lovely, but you can go get 30% off. And when I say 30% off, it's almost 1/3. WSN30 when you go there. Enter your order and go to Loom. They got them all over Metro Detroit and all over the state.
All right, we're keeping it pushing here. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, stick in for D-Mac. And, of course, we have KG, Spencer, Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel and get it in. All right. Just a fan. Neil, where is the egregious E&E comment?
Yeah.
The people want it. I was going to do a Pistons uniform thing.
But this is too good to pass up.
Wait, what are we doing?
What? Yeah. What
Neil
did Neil
can't
say yesterday?
Oh,
Neil can't
yeah,
resist.
yeah. I
I know
got
he
the
can't.
video.
Oh, you have the video?
I haven't heard it yet.
Plug in my
either.
headphones.
Oh, yeah. No, this is pretty good. So,
Justin sent it to me. So if it's not the right video, blame Justin.
Benny, I believe in you.
I haven't listened to it yet.
I believe in you that it's the right video.
Nobody can pitch
How
with
about
them.
if you're Al Avila right now? You're sitting home, and these are your draft picks, and they're starting to blossom. And I know the Tigers have improved the minor leagues since Scott Harris has come here, but there's got to be a part of Al Avila that's home, and his stomach is just in knots right now.
I disagree with that. If you're Al Avila, this allows you to get another job. That's really what happens. I mean, if you're Al Avila, you say, look, these are my guys. You basically have a working resume that you can just say, here, choose. Right. What did I get wrong again? What did I get wrong?
In the super chat, by the way, Burn, great timing. How do you feel about the Al Avila believers coming out of the shadows? Well, Burn, it's pretty simple how I feel about it. Because when you have a decade worth of drafts, you're going to run into a couple of players. You just are. Here's my problem with the Al Avila believers that are starting to pop up everywhere. Justin Verlander, J.D. Martinez, Justin Upton, Ian Kinsler were traded for Jake Rogers. End of list.
That's not even a joke.
That is not my opinion. That is an actual researchable fact. That is why he's fired. That is why he was not a good GM. That is why he was here. He was in here to oversee the teardown, right? I gave you all those names, and I could give them to you again. Justin Verlander, was he good?
Yes.
J.D. Martinez.
Yeah.
Ian Kinsler, Justin Upton. Traded for Jake Rogers.
But he did sign Javi Baez.
And
On the way out.
signed Javi Baez to the worst contract in the history of Detroit sports.
On the way out the door.
How? How can you sit on this microphone and defend that man? How? That's the answer I was looking for. Thank you. Let's move on.
But it's just but I've always, since I've been at the network, I've said Al Avila's problem wasn't necessarily picking players. It was everything else, though, like the development, farm system, just trades, free agency wasn't necessarily a strong suit. Everything else he did was wrong. So it is what it is. I mean, will he get another job? Maybe, but I wouldn't do it. If I'm
not knocking down the door to say, hey, can you come make the trades for us?
Yeah. Just to say, like, what else did he do wrong? Like, that's the only part I get hung up on.
Al Avila is worse than Troy Weaver.
Fact.
Well, Troy Weaver's still in the organization.
No, Troy Weaver's gone.
He's still part of the organization.
No, he works for the Wizards now.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was talking.
Quit Casey.
Sorry. My fault.
No, Troy Weaver is a better GM in his Detroit tenure than Al Avila because, like what Neil said, it is staggering. If you haven't done this, we did it like 2 years ago or something like that, where we took every single trade that he made and all of the big pieces that he shipped away, and you look at all of the players that he got in return for that, the amount of guys that are not in the MLB or not in baseball anymore is staggering. Like it's like 3 of the players from almost every trade he's made don't even play baseball anymore.
It's a fact.
It's like, it's jarring. Like, honestly, if you write it down and look at it, you're like, okay, Jake Rogers. Okay. Alcantara. One of the good ones. No, not one of the good Alcantaras. He's not in baseball anymore.
Baseball's full of them.
Another Alcantara. No, not one that can play. Honestly, there was like 3 Alcantaras and none of them were good. Yeah, Al Avila is worse than Troy Weaver.
Yeah.
I can't argue it. I mean,
okay,
people are, but you can't.
You got an Al Avila loyalist group. What would they say about this?
They run this same stuff.
Check in next from 2 to 4.
Yeah, Kerry Carpenter, which props. Kerry Carpenter's great. More on him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Tarek Skubal, right? But when you have 8 drafts,
praise Javier.
Hips don't lie. When you have 8 drafts in baseball,
yeah,
which is literally hundreds of picks.
20 rounds.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
hundreds of picks.
That's a lot of picks.
The math says you could literally do a lottery
and
for the picks.
2 number 1 overall picks.
Like, you could literally do a lottery and hit on some players.
Yeah.
For real.
Yep.
I gave you those names. That was the return. Sorry, man. No, he gets no credit.
No
for it.
credit.
You look at what he
None.
took over and where they ended up. It's horrible, bro. Like you took over a wagon.
Dombrowski to Al Avila is the biggest downgrade in GM in the history of Detroit sports.
Facts.
Like going from Dave Dombrowski to Al Avila is the biggest singular move downgrade at the GM spot in the history of Detroit sports.
Facts.
Which is odd because Avila worked with Dombrowski for a long time.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he can't run the show.
Listen, man, it's different when you got to be the guy. Like,
no doubt.
It is.
we all know that in media you see it all the time, and on the team, in sports you see it all the time. It's one thing to be Robin. It's a whole nother to be Batman.
That's true.
I mean, just hundreds of draft picks, dude. And Chuck Burr brings up a good point, too. Until 2021, there were 40 rounds of draft.
Yeah.
I still miss Dave. I love Dave Dombrowski. The Dave Dombrowski slander was you don't hear it much anymore, but it was so ridiculous.
Outrageous.
It's just the way he left us, right? He left the kitchen and the cupboards bare, but that's what Dombrowski
That's what
did.
you do.
That's what he
also
did.
left us
Draft,
with the
build
best
him up,
roster
ship
in
him
baseball.
off, bring in an
Yeah.
actual asset. Like that was his style. So when he left, though, it was pretty empty. That was the knock on Dombrowski. But I could never say a bad thing about Dave Dombrowski.
I'd give him. He left Al Avila with the tools to retool the cupboards,
Right.
And he spent it all on scratch offs.
He traded it for nothing.
Did
Yeah.
Avila hire Osmus?
Yes.
Yeah. You can go with the manager.
That's the worst to me.
Ron Gardenhire. Like, what are we talking about?
No, wait,
Ron was cool.
whoa.
He
There will
was
be
cool.
no Ron Gardenhire slander on this show.
No,
he
I'm not
was the hire
slandering
that
him.
they should have done besides Osmus.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Because Osmus, if you remember when he took over the Tigers, what did he say? All I got to do is not drive this Corvette off the cliff.
Yeah.
That's literally a quote from Brad Osmus. It was a Corvette he was handed. It was
Literally.
a finished product. And
The best
what did
roster
he
in
do?
baseball.
He drove it off the cliff. If they would have handed those keys to Rod Gardenhire that year, we would be in a totally different discussion.
No, and I don't hate Gardenhire, but what was his best season with us? What, 70 wins?
Yeah.
Like, just over 70? Like, this.
Look what he had to work
No,
with.
yeah,
man.
absolutely. But my point is, Al Avila just did not have the foresight, bro. He hired the wrong people.
Hiring Osmus was the biggest mistake.
And he made bad picks, bro. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, well, he made some bad picks, but overall, more bad than good.
Steve DeYoung, all this proves that bad GMs can make good picks occasionally. Heck, even Bob Quinn drafted Decker and Ragnow.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, again, you're in there, you have picks.
Right.
You could close your eyes and select names out of a hat.
Like
some would work.
Somebody said Millen in there. If we're talking draft picks, Millen had way better draft picks than Al Avila. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Millen drafted Megatron.
and I don't give Troy Weaver credit for drafting Kate Cunningham because he was 1-1. I don't give Al Avila credit for drafting Casey Mize or Spencer Torkelson. They were 1-1.
Yeah.
There is not a single person in the world who did any research on baseball at all that wouldn't have taken Spencer Torkelson 1-1 in that draft.
and last year that didn't look like such a good pick.
And it didn't. No, but he looks
Let's
great.
be
He looks
honest.
great this year. But I don't like giving credit for consensus 1-1 picks. Like,
Well, when
the
you're-
Cavs, they got LeBron, greatest draft pick of all time. Like, no.
When you're in that spot, you're essentially an offensive lineman.
Yes.
Where the only thing that can happen to you is bad.
Yes. Yeah.
You can only screw it up.
You can only screw it up.
But that's the
Absolutely.
nature of the position. Like,
Absolutely.
that's the way that it
Could
works.
draft Kwame Brown.
Yep.
Dante 151 in the super chat. Did people forget the Eduardo Rodriguez fiasco? No, I remember
That
it.
shit was.
But he made up for it with
No,
Jack Flaherty.
Well, okay. Fuck Eduardo Rodriguez.
Yeah, big facts.
I want to be on the East Coast, so you can't to the Dodgers, right? Wasn't he going to get traded to the Dodgers?
Yes.
And he turned that down, and then he goes and signs with the D-backs the next year. And dude, fuck that guy. That guy was a turd, man. Total turd.
Burn in the super chat, and this sums it up perfectly. I think you were talking about it. Al Avila would have never brought in Flaherty, trade away Flaherty for Sweeney,
And then get him back.
Lorenzo.
That's what I'm saying.
Lorenzo,
and then
yeah.
sign a World Series pitcher in Flaherty.
you
No,
go.
like, and that
That's
is the
where
thing.
Scott Harris
Guess
gets
what,
credit.
guys?
Like
Guess what?
after the Eduardo Rodriguez thing,
He did that.
for him to do the thing that everybody always talks about, but it has never happened in the history of mankind, where you can trade him away in his walk year and then re-sign him if you want to. Everyone says that, nobody does it. He did it.
Yeah, and guess what,
Facts.
Neil? He's going to do it again.
I still don't believe that, but it's yet to be seen.
No. So yeah, that's it. All right, let's take the break. I do want to talk about a Tigers thing real quick because I promised you I would say something nice about Miggy, and the people in the chat are talking about it.
Javi.
About
Or Javi, I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess it's, same kind of.
yeah.
Well, without
very similar
it's apples and carrots.
Both draining money at the end of their careers.
one guy earned the money that he was draining.
I know. Believe me, I'll never say a bad word about it.
Okay.
But $30 million at the end of Cabrera's career was you weren't getting what you were
absolutely
paying for.
deserved.
What
They
got.
failed that man. The organization failed him.
Miguel
No,
Cabrera
Miggy-
deserved every cent of that
Yeah,
contract.
He
Triple Crown
delivered.
winner,
He earned every dollar.
World
Yeah,
Series.
that's why I said the organization failed him.
Yes.
They did.
You know, that was the way that
He wanted to win the World
Al
Series.
Avila failed him.
Correct.
By
Let's see
signing
here.
Brad Ausmus.
Buddy's Pizza. Let's talk about Buddy's Pizza for a second, if we shall, because there's 22 Buddy's locations around the Metro Detroit area. You know they've been in the game since 1946. They invented Detroit-style. You know that we talk about Detroit-style pizza? That was Buddy's. That created that, invented that. You see the evidence right there on your screen. They're great in the community. They have great partnerships with the Michigan Humane Society, Salvation Army, the Detroit Zoo, and more. And right now, what does this mean to you? Promo code 10meal. Go to buddyspizza.com, find the one near you. Use the promo code 10meal. You'll get 10% off your entire order. So boom, right there. Lunch is solved for you, everybody. You don't want that? Look at that thing on the screen. buddyspizza.com.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Shop.woodwardsports.com, everybody. Get geared up for the draft. F them picks, right?
F them.
Get the F them pick shirt. That's a stick original. That's in there as well. Don't forget golf season's coming up. We got a Woodward Sports golf line sticks got to pull over on right now. It's a matter of fact. Get geared up for the Detroit basketball playoff run as well. Go to shop.woodwardsports.com.
Yeah, maybe if it's not 20 degrees out, we could actually golf.
One day you can go play golf. That day is not today.
Not today. D-Mac's probably playing golf today.
That's D-Mac, though.
No, even he's not today.
I don't know.
He might.
How much? 41?
He might.
With that win,
With the win. He's not playing St. Clair Shores.
He's Canadian. He can handle it.
Yeah,
he's an animal.
he is, man.
I like golf. That man loves golf.
Loves
He's good at well, when you're good, it helps too.
Does help.
The
I like
round,
golf.
the round we played last year, he was playing out of his mind.
Yeah,
Oh.
dude, I felt so bad for him. He lost the ball on the last hole, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
He was
there.
like a 70. He was like 71.
He was
lost
shooting
the ball.
par.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Oakhurst too.
Yeah.
Woodward Sports Super Chat, Rando Small. So now Mattel is making a King James Ken doll. And it'll probably sell too.
It's going to sell a lot.
I'm sure it will.
The
That's going
LeBron
to be.
sexuals are gonna love
That
that.
is going
Yeah.
to sell a lot.
Just wait till the blow up doll comes out. Woof. The people who love LeBron, man, they
Dude,
they love that boy LeBron.
The LeBron fucking remixes.
Oh.
Oh my god, that
Dude,
shit is
oh,
so
it's
hilarious,
Making
bro.
LeBron.
Yes, so good.
Hilarious.
All of
man.
them are so good.
We didn't really get a chance to get into the Tigers a ton today. Obviously, first place Detroit Tigers, sure, 7-4. Look, bounce back from that Dodgers thing. Yeah, bounce back from that Dodgers thing.
Skubal looked great.
Yeah,
Scubal's great.
4 home runs.
I felt bad having to say Skubal, kind of wasn't playing his best baseball because we all know what he's capable of. But this is the Terry Skubal that I know and love. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
16 home runs already. They had 16 home runs at the end of April last year.
They had 4 in 1 inning
without the torpedo bats.
Ridiculous.
Without the torpedo bats. Yeah, they almost went back to back to back.
Yeah.
Tigers on Twitter, by the way, put up the lineup for the Yankees. They played
When
once
did they play
again
today?
at 110.
Nice.
Again.
Right out of work.
Justin Henry Malloy is leading off again. Ibanez, Riley Green, Torkelson cleanup. Dylan Dingler catching. Colt Keith. Javi Baez up to 6th in the lineup today. Ryan Kreidler at center, Zach McKinstry in right, and Jack Flaherty on the bump. So they have an opportunity to sweep that series, which certainly would be big.
Who's on the bump for the Yankees?
Don't know today.
I haven't seen. I can take a look.
Oh, wait, it's Max Fried.
Max Fried?
And he's solid. Max Fried.
He's their big money.
Yeah,
he's their big money acquisition.
Yeah.
He's the best starter they got with Garrett Cole being injured.
Yep. So that's what it is.
Carlos Carrasco, dude. I can't believe.
I told you. I'm like, Carlos Carrasco, they taking that.
He was getting shelled, dude.
I do have one nice thing to say about Javi because a couple people asked me to do it.
Okay.
I'll say this. I'll give Javi credit in this regard because while I wish this is how it would have went, but at the same time, I'll give him credit for it, right? Like I'm honest about it. Like I'm an analyst. The hips don't lie.
Facts.
No, Javi very easily could have packed it in and said, in this NBA, load management.
I got my money. Yeah.
I got my money. It's guaranteed. Like I could just say, the surgery didn't go well. My back hurts. All that kind of stuff. I'll give him credit. That he battles.
Yeah,
he does. 100%.
Like he not going out there trying to be bad.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And what I heard from AJ Hinch, they're talking about Javi, and he said that he went up to him, before the season started, before spring training, and he said, we're worried about winning baseball games, and so we're probably going to move you around a lot this year. Third base, center field, DA, wherever you want him, we're probably going to move you. And he said Javi was extremely excited for that. And we've seen, remember Devers? Remember the whole Devers thing? I'm playing third base. I'm not moving for third base after they signed Bregman.
Yeah.
Javi said the only thing he cares about is winning, and he'll play wherever they ask him to play. So you can't ask for more than that out of a guy.
No, and that's, look, he does it. He didn't quit. He didn't just die and lay down and say, again, my back hurts, whatever.
Javi's problem, he has some detrimental bad tendencies, and he's trying to work some of those out. Of course, you can't fix somebody that just swings outside on everything. You hope he gets better.
He has been much better at that this year. He's not swinging very much at that way out of the zone slider. He took a walk yesterday on a pitch that he would have struck out on last year.
And we'll let it, we'll let it play out. For sure.
That's all
Obviously,
we doing.
it's still very early. But
that's all we saying, Neil. It's the small steps with Javi. You got to accept it after the 3 years that we fucking had.
We can only talk about the returns we have right now.
Yeah, I give him credit for not tapping out.
Yeah,
I do give him credit for that. No BS. All right, and while we're at it, what?
You're paid $25 million.
Stick, we making progress. Don't do that. Stick.
I know.
We finally made progress.
I
with
love
this.
you,
No,
Neil.
but
And
Stick,
I
no,
don't
but-
want to reignite this.
Come
but
on,
come
man.
on. He's not supposed to keep trying for $25 million.
A lot of
He
people
don't have to.
Stick.
He could just be a ward.
It's got to be embarrassing, dude.
He could just be a ward on the organization and collect his money.
Look at fucking Monty Williams. He tapped the fuck out.
Yeah.
He wasn't coaching those guys. He didn't want to be there.
If they would have kept him, he would have been on the bench this year, right?
And he would have been doing the
Just
same
showing
thing
up.
he did last year where he wasn't trying.
I
He
know,
wasn't
but
coaching.
I have a rough time commending anybody for effort when they're getting 25. Just like the Matthew Stafford issue back in the day. Oh, he did so much for this. Oh, yeah, he did so much. He collected $40 million a year. Of course he's going to do stuff.
He did get $250 million.
Right, but
$250 million and delivered us nothing.
But just because you get
and y'all love him.
Just because you getting paid don't mean that's gonna make you want to go out there and perform.
Yeah.
Though.
Well, in my opinion, that's
It
what
should,
it's for.
but
Yeah, look at Albert Hainsworth.
It should,
Prime
but it's
example
not.
of getting the
Like,
bag and nailing it in.
You're right, KG, but that doesn't mean I have to give you credit for stuff you should do.
Fair.
Like,
That is fair.
Also, too, look,
better than
you guys know where I sit with AJ Hinch, right?
Yeah.
I think
he
he
looks cool in Oakley's, says Steve.
He does have aura.
And
he has the look of a star MLB fucking player. He really does, but he just
hasn't got the ability.
just not the numbers.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that being said, you guys know I love AJ Hinch. He's the best manager in baseball. If AJ Hinch were the manager of this team through the 2010s, we'd have won World Series.
You damn right.
I'll take that to my grave.
You damn
I'll
right.
fight someone that
Absolutely
says, "Hey, crazy clown." I'll fight someone that comes in and says that to my face.
Multiple we would have won.
But with that being said, it's time. It's time to play Kerry Carpenter every day.
Yep.
He's hitting lefties.
But he's not in the lineup today.
Yeah, well, they want to take it slow with him, but I'm not mad at that. I mean, but he's picking his spots and he's performing.
It's time
against lefties.
Is Ibanez in the lineup?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
he's the consistent.
I agree. I think it's time. I think by necessity, he should be playing every day. Yeah, I think it's time to let him try to swing on some lefties. He hit a home run on a lefty yesterday. That is one thing that AJ doesn't do. He doesn't ride the hot bat. He plays his guys how he plays the analytics. That's what he always does.
Matchup dependent. Yeah.
And analytically, Kerry Carpenter isn't good against lefties. But because even though he got a home run off one yesterday, he's not just going to do that and throw a wrench into that. He's going to do what worked and what has worked for him. So I can't hate that, but you also I would have played Kerry today for sure.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
Maybe you don't want to overuse him. It could be that situation, but
yeah, it's also injury stuff that you have to manage. He's a guy that has missed a lot of games the past couple of years. So we'll see. But
so far so good.
IT Hips, wow, better than Jim Leland? Yes. AJ,
and I love Leland. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. AJ
I love
Hinch is
Leland
the
to
better
death.
man.
AJ Hinch would have got us multiple World Series.
Yeah.
With that team?
Yeah.
With that team?
100%.
AJ Hinch.
Come on, dog. They was the best roster in baseball. AJ Hinch gets us multiple.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I agree.
I mean, you're speaking theoretically.
Yes.
There's no way to prove that.
Yeah, you're right.
It's all just your opinion and
You
conjecture.
are absolutely
but
correct.
to this point, Jim Leland's taken the Tigers further than Hinch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
So,
But Hinch came
I have
into
a rough time.
shitty, worse situation than Leland walked into.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a little worse. Than
The
Leland.
Tigers were on the rebuild when Leland came.
They
here.
were, but I don't think it was Al Avila bad, but it was bad. Don't get me wrong.
JL Rotex
They were
580.
coming off worst record in baseball history. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, fair.
I don't know how
No, they was losing 100
to go
games
from
back
that
then,
to
so-
World Series multiple times.
Yeah.
Come on, let's not discredit Jim Leland here.
JL Rotex 583. Neil says AJ's the best manager in baseball, then turns around and says he isn't by not playing Carpenter. Come on, Neil, which one is it?
Again, yeah, this is why this generation is so fucked. It's so annoying. You can't criticize anybody without hating them. It's honestly embarrassing
stupid.
for people to think like that. You can still believe something about a person and criticize the decision they make. You don't have to be on your knees for everything they do at all times.
That's it? No.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Take the final break. Come back to this. I want to see this Pistons jersey. By the way.
Yeah. Planet Fitness.
Yeah, Planet Fitness, everyone live at the Planet Fitness Studios. I'll be going there this afternoon a little bit later on. There's over 50 of them in the Metro Detroit area. So if I'm here at Woodward, there's one on Maple Road. If I'm over back in the 586, that one's pretty simple. That's one at 23 in Van Dyke. And they're all in between there as well. I get access to all of them. Just $24.99 a month for a black card. That's it. That's all. Guys, it's the best gym in the gym game. I'm telling you this. And it's also the cheapest gym in the gym game. It's rare in life where those two things line up. But I give to you Planet Fitness. Go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot on the way home. Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
All right, final segment of the show. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Stick in the building. KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread as well. Get in there, get your thoughts out there. Stick, appreciate you stepping up.
Hey, always.
Coming out of the pen.
Yeah.
Out to Big Squirt Burt 97.
Hey.
Goated name in the Woodward Sports chat. He says AJ can't smoke a pack like Jim though, and
That's fact.
that is true. That's why I love Jim Leland.
He can't argue with an ump like Jim could.
That is also true.
Boy,
Jim Leland.
I miss those days.
Ripping heaters in the dugout, man.
Oh,
That shit
dude.
was legendary.
One of my
Him
favorite
cussing out
videos
the
is Jim
ups.
Leland ripping into Barry Bonds when he was
Yes.
on the Pirates. Like,
Nah,
Barry
Jim was
Bonds
the man.
thought he was God, and Jim Leland brought him back down to earth.
Love Leland, man.
You told me that there's been a leak. This the Piston City editions for next year.
Yeah, so how it started was all the guys. I think it was Asar, Ron Holland, Malik Beasley, and Jalen Duren. Or a bunch of. It might have been all of them, but I saw pictures of a bunch of Pistons players walking into their game the other night wearing a T-shirt that had Cade Cunningham
Slam magazine,
cover.
right?
Yeah,
I was watching the game too. I saw that. I thought that was funny.
He did a photo shoot for Slam magazine. He's going to be the cover athlete, and he was wearing a jersey that the Pistons haven't put out yet. And so everybody thought, oh, is this a leak? Is this an Easter egg? It was official that these, it's not officially yet.
Oh, that's
but
beautiful.
Those are the Slam pictures of Cade in the jerseys that are going to be their city editions next
They
year.
brought back the teal, huh?
Yeah, unpopular opinion. I love the teal, man. They
I
were
do
just a
too.
losing product during that time, but the teal uniform.
It was a losing product last time the Pistons wore it on the court, too.
I-
It's been a losing
understandable.
product every time they bust out the teal. The Pistons
That's-
suck.
Yeah, and I'm not a
understand.
superstitious man, so I don't care about that at all.
Exactly.
These jerseys
That
are
was a
sweet.
fire jersey, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still hurt. I'm still hurt from the 90s.
I can understand that.
I like these jerseys.
The
a lot.
kids love the teal.
The
Us,
teal, yeah,
us
that's-
OGs, no, sir.
I need that old logo too, the horse logo. Please bring
No,
it back. Yes.
no, come on! You guys
Yes.
just learned your lesson.
It
2
was a
years
fire
ago.
logo,
You
though.
like we sat in this studio and debate, and then they came out and sucked in those.
Y'all wanted the Lions black jerseys. They used to suck in black back in the day, but y'all love the black jerseys now.
Facts.
I'm just saying, like that's not.
I can't.
completely
black
different
jersey.
unis.
It
Yeah.
is, but still,
And-
like it's the principle.
I don't know. And I don't give a shit about what they were. I'm not a superstitious guy. I think these jerseys are fucking sweet.
It was a different black jersey for the Lions. This is a different teal for the Pistons. So maybe like new designs, new vibes, new culture. So
One can hope, Chase, but all I know is it's 2 for 2.
hey, you did the old.
I'm just going by the
Hey,
averages right
let's
now.
reference Shawshank again. You did the Alexander dumbass. Like you got Andy Dufresne. Hey, hope is the best of things.
It's,
You
yeah.
can never lose hope, Stick.
I
It's-
can when the statistics tell me otherwise. Like
Why-
here, I'm an analytics guy. They're 0 for 2. Don't do it again.
Understand?
I ask this question every time. Why are jerseys so?
Polarized.
Yeah, why?
Because it's males.
You look good,
version of
play
arguing
good,
about
man. Come
fashion.
You look
Hey.
good, feel good, play good.
I mean, the NASCAR just had their throwback weekend last week. Check out episode 5 of Fast and Loose with JB Smooth and I. But
Shout out.
he's fast on loose. But yeah, I mean, it's been a whole 2 weeks of them talking about the throwback paint
Is
schemes in
JB
NASCAR.
fast?
It's not. It's
Yeah, like the, NASCAR finally, they're like, hey, this gets talked about on the socials.
yeah.
Like it's wild. The Minecraft movie last night. Everybody knew when to
Chicken
jump in the
jockey.
theater based on social media. Like
Flinted steel.
When you jump in, what do you mean jump in?
when all those parts came up.
Yeah.
Everybody in the theater would yell them out.
There's a trend. Yeah.
What?
There's a trend with the Minecraft movie going around that people are recording
you
themselves. The line of the movie that he says.
They
There's
put it.
multiple
They put it in
times.
the trailers.
What does he say?
Different word. Chicken jockey, flinted steel, I am Steve. There's a bunch of different lines of the movie that
So
he
people
says.
just yell chicken jockey?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a different word.
When he says it,
When he says it in
when
the
he
movie.
says it in the movie. Yeah.
And the place went crazy.
Yeah.
The place went crazy. Movies in general too. I've noticed this with the younger generation. Like it's a whole experience to go to the movies now.
yeah, like it
Well,
used
it has
to
to
be.
be. Right.
It used to be like that.
Well, no, it has
No, like
to
they
be.
come dressed in costume. They
Yeah.
bring blankets with them.
Well, yeah, the cosplayers.
My favorite, like my best movie years were like my community college years, where me and the boys were just getting blowed and going to see a movie at noon because it was like $4.
The
for
matinee. Yes, sir. Love the
So
matinee.
just get super baked, go in there, watch a movie, might catch the double feature where you slide into another movie
Yep,
before you
used to
walk
do that
out,
shit all the time.
and just come out and be like, it's still light outside and be like, what the fuck is going on? I saw Batman,
Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight Rises, the one with Bane, 4 days in a row with the same ticket stub. I walked in. I bought the first one, bought it, watched it, came back the next day, walked by the guy. I was like, "You already got me." Showed him the ripped off ticket stub. He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yep.
But
Me
that
and
was
my boy
before
did
the
that 4 days in a
streaming
row.
and all that stuff now. But the back to your point, Neil, like that's why theater, it has to become like a communal fun thing because most people just want to watch it on their couch at home. It's got to be an experience. It's just like owning a bar or anything like back in the 90s. You just opened your door and people came in.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
you got to offer them something.
If you didn't see Dune 2 in theaters, you fucked up. Wait for the re-release because that was one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life, and the theater experience made it so much better.
I've been tempted to watch that shit. I see it on HBO.
It's the greatest movie
I've been
I've
tempted,
ever seen.
dog.
I love it, dude.
I mean, I would say it always used to be an experience. Like if you go back to like the history of cinema and like the first theaters, like it was an event. It was like during the times of the Great Depression, people would go there to like just forget about.
rid of
And it was
depression.
like Nickelodeon, like literally a nickel to load it in and look at the motion pictures and like the little machines. Like, so
Yeah.
just
And
getting
it's-
back to the roots.
Especially with shit like Minecraft and the Marvel movies, like it's popular to cosplay now. So a lot of people do want to go out in costume and enjoy these fucking films that you never thought you would see.
Have you ever dressed up for as a character at a movie, guys?
Nah, the cosplaying ain't
No,
my thing.
but I'll say like I've worn a jersey to a game because I was talking about it
It's
with
the
my
same
wife. Yes,
thing.
it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
It's the same
Like
thing.
it is literally the same thing. So good on the movie industry. Like they figured out a genre that works, right? Because they sell product at the theater now. You know what I'm saying?
Like
Like
they have to evolve.
It works, yeah.
Because if I can stream it at home, what are you offering me experience-wise that I would actually pay to be a part of?
This jacket I wear every day is from one of my favorite TV shows of all time, Nathan For You. Nathan Fielder was top 5 Canadians. He was number 3 on my list.
There you go.
That is true. All right, well, that'll do it. Myself, Sean Belizean, tomorrow. Stick, appreciate you as always, my
Yeah,
friend.
it's a good day today. Talk some hobby, talk some Pistons. We're about to go speak at schools, me and you.
We are, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, I have to dip to go do that. KG, Spencer Raxter, chasing the Chase Lounge. Love the kids. Me and Trick.
I'm gonna teach you how to hate hobby bias, children.
Gather around.
Right.
Gather around.
I'm going
Thanks.
to spread the gospel.
There you go. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow. Well, see you later.